Welcome to the first TPK Thursday of the year. Happy 2023 and Happy New Year, I guess. Well, thank you for joining us today. And we have the second playtest of an adventure from Panic Knot's Maze magazine, which is India's first TTRPG magazine. If you want a copy, you should check out the one on Drive Through RPG. There are a couple of fantastic adventures in there and a lot of world building material as well. Now, if you want to watch the other adventures that you can find in this magazine, the other one is Storm of Locusts, which is by Rajib, and that you can find in our video playlist somewhere. But we also have another one from V coming up soon. Look out for that. But tonight, we're going to look at the one that I wrote for it. It's my first adventure that I've ever written and published, so I am very excited to play test this. So to give you a bit of background on what you can expect tonight, a lot of this is going to deal with sea travel. Our adventurers are right now on this kind of broken down boat a little off the shores of Ibiza, the seaport city that they were just at. And they set out with a mission, essentially. Two of them, Jeevan and Akib over here, having been tasked with guarding a certain representative of what is believed to be the underwater city of Kairi. Now, this striking individual sits poised, holding in their hands what seems to be a sort of satchel. And the sort of themes that you, as an audience, can expect in this adventure is a lot of exploration, a bit of combat, and a bit of seafare, and hopefully not too much trauma for the NPCs because we've we've seen what this party does before. But yeah, I'm excited and nervous. Okay, like let's see how this goes. But to set the scene, and before we go into character introductions, a distant rumble of a storm vibrates the salty air as the trusty old ship that you're on groans against turbulent waves. It's been just mere hours since she sails the ship set to sea. The representative from Kairi, the Titan Daria, sits in silence in a far corner. A bit of light that escapes from the gathering clouds above reflects off the emerald coat of an ornate pouch on Daria's side, similar in color to the vibrant greenish hue that the blue scales radiate from the light figure that you see now sits in sort of frigid discipline. A booming voice resounds overhead, and as you all look up, you see a golden figure step into your sights as Captain Cook calls out to your party. You look up, and it's almost like this light catches your eyes. The sparkle is quite bright, and it's only because this captain that stands in front of you looks very, very odd. Most of their body seems to be made out of a variety of metal, taken away from parts of weaponry that you'd find scattered across battlefields. You also see that their hair is reddish in color, but only because of rusted wiring that seems to be poking out of their head. But the most odd, apart from the sword that's at their side, and a very stylized metal mustache, is a wooden leg that they have. Everything else on their body is metal apart from this wooden leg. And as they step into your sides and greet you, they say, "Ahoy there! While you lot find your sea legs, tell us a tale each of your heroism and pass the tide." And you see, as the sails start to bellow with the winds taking you forward, and the person that you're charged with keeping safe, Daria sits and in this weird impassive way because they haven't seemed to have showed any interest in you lot till now. This seems to be like a perk of interest in their eyes as they just scan the lot of you. Now, to just set the scene of the map. Now, all of you are on the upper deck. I'm just going to set you here. Let me know where each of you are. Say yes. Who would like to start? Kush, would you like to go ahead first?
Right. At the question of um, a tale from your past, my eyebrows raises, and I get up, and I want to be the first one to answer. And I take my sword out as the question is asked. I am Neldor Gromstorm, the bronze knight of Lady Dara, savior of the seas, the slayer of Chromatic Dragon, and the true heir of Southbreak. I am here on Lady Dara's mission, one that she gave me herself in my dreams. She is not very descriptive, very cryptic, but she told me that I needed to be on a boat that is in need of repair, and this was the worst boat I could find. Uh, well, in terms of my past adventures, um, during my travels through Slowhelm, I actually helped a military slay a green dragon. And not to brag, but ancient green dragon, not something to be, like taken for a small thing. It's kind of a big deal, but yeah, and I slayed it. So that's me.
Green Dragon. Why? I've never come across one myself. How did you finally hunt the beast? How did you take him down?
Well, it was not quite me that took him down as the final blow, but you know, this war did its fair share, and in mechanical terms, did 80 damage in one turn.
Miss me. That's extraordinary, my man. So, Neldo, would you ever consider being part of my ship? Now we adventure quite a bit, and I could find you a water dragon next time.
Well, if a dragon comes around attacking the ship, it is sure to die, but maybe not a part of your ship. I'm sort of a contract-based freelancer, so we'll see what the tide brings.
Extraordinary. And you see, as the captain leans forward even more, and scans the rest of you, and looks over to you, Akib, and says, "You there? That the the thing that you carry on your back. I understand it's a part of you. Does it help? Does it aid you if you were to fall overboard? Act as a sort of flotation device, maybe."
I like I just like get up and then I go ah and I start screaming like it's pure like red flame like
Calm
that's
down,
in my
calm.
ear.
How the fuck did you do that?
Lights. And so,
Yeah, I
ah,
got you.
ah, my name is Habibi and my future. See, my past adventure. I I was in land like how everybody should be. Everybody should be in land. Nobody should be in water. I don't understand why people are in water. How are you allowed? Aren't you made of metal? Why do you have a wooden leg? Why are you here? How did you slay a dragon called Chromatic Dragon? Why are chromatic dragons chromatic? And then like I look at everybody else and I'm just like worried, but I'm like, I used to feed the children in my land free toffees every week, and they were very poor, and yeah, that, and like another scream, ah, and then I just sit down.
Wow, well, that is quite heroic, I'd say, in its own way, like offering sort of charity.
And
A
like
little
you
less
slowly
watchful.
see Habibi like go into his shell, and he's just waiting there now.
Fascinating. I can see him. And you, silent one out there. What do you?
Uh, uh, well, firstly, I don't mind Habibi. He is a little anxious sometimes and he uses his anxiety to crush his foes. However, I am Quetar at your service. Just humble monk from a monastery. Nothing really much to my name other than the fact that they saved the prince from assassination. I kind of uncovered the coup. I got some captors and I freed some captors from political imprisonment. And the list goes on. The
Hmm,
list goes on.
interesting.
Yeah.
And and Queta, at when you talk about
Or call
freeing
me
from.
Quay. It's fine.
Okay, so Quay, and this is out of character. When you mention about freeing from imprisonment and with your passive perception, you do notice that the other people on board, the mates that work around Captain, they seem to shift almost with an air of unease. And you barely notice this, and it's mostly more of your observation from how things move that you get the sense, because everybody else on board, apart from all of you travelers, seem to be robotic in nature themselves, made out of equipment. And
Oh, they're
it's
not
just the way
human.
that
They're not
no,
humanoid. They're not. Okay.
none
Okay.
of them seem humanoid. Now, if you would like to investigate this a little further, you can give me an perception check or an insight check.
I will
And
do just that. That's a lot of baloney. It's a 13.
30.
Oh,
13.
one
Okay.
three, 1-3.
On three. It's like a
We're
13.
level 5, guys. We're
Wow.
level 5. Don't worry.
Okay, look. So you are relatively intelligent, and the space from being the one that usually having been tasked with traveling with Habibi to counter his quakes, you have your wits, and you tend to notice things that might put the both of you in danger. And looking around now, you do notice that, as you finish your tale and notice that the only other one left with the tale is the companion that you're supposed to be guarding, Devya, sitting by themselves. You look at the other people on board, that the other sailors, and notice that they're all made out of metal. But you also notice that at the far end, here, sorry, here, you notice that there are boxes of food. Now, this food itself seems to be slightly on the spoiling side, and which you don't think is odd, but you do think it's odd how fresh they are. Why would they need so much? And it seems to be a lot more than what would be required to just contribute to the rest of you.
Uh, um, y- so the food is spoiling, but there's a lot of it. I
Yeah,
imagine.
there's a lot of food, and even the spoiling food, it doesn't seem to be like spoiled by many weeks. It seems to be just a couple of weeks, like a week
Okay.
old
And
essentially.
how long have we been at sea by this point?
You have been at sea for say about a few hours, right?
Oh, okay.
And as you are taking note of this, the captain looks at all of you, and that is absolutely grand. And as he claps his hands together, it's almost like a twang rings across the sea because of metal striking metal. And all of you do notice this only because you are trained to alert yourself in sudden shifts of mood. But you notice as the captain then directs his attention to your strange fish-like companion and says to them, "Now, fine traveler, what about you? You have a strange look about you, eh? Those those things, the slits on your neck, do they aid you outside of water as much as they do inside? Your scales do not burn when they are caught under the sunlight. What adventures do you come with? What tales?" And Daria looks up to the captain and he says, "Any laurels of mine belong to my people. And the stories of my people, of course, you would have heard of them. Why, we practically saved your world. We saved all of you. If we did not exist, if we had not come here in the dire straits that you're in, if we did not come and rescue all of you, the material plane would not be here for you to brag about stories of simplicity, brag about stories of irony, those that are nothing more than the business of what would it be? Those things that you call monkeys. These tales that you come with, they're not to be proud of. A dragon? Why a dragon is something that many of our people would have defeated if we had come across them. And you cared of water, the most wondrous thing in this whole plane of yours, and you are terrified of it. You stay away. And the other, the stories do not even leave an impression on my memory. The stories that I could tell you about from where I'm from, what my people have done, would shock you, would terrify you, would have you turning and twisting in your beds, praying that we never leave. And so, to not alarm you any further, I take my silence.
Have we heard about these people?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
Also, insight for me. This is just a spiteful thing. Not even like a,
12 on history.
Also going
12?
to try to do a
12 on
history
history.
check.
Okay.
1 second.
Oh
Insight.
no, not one.
1 second. Wait. Let's see how bad my insight is going to be.
I'll just know if you don't know him, it's a bit better.
Wow, 4.
No, about his people, like his people saving us, this plane, all of that bullshit.
Uh, so Jean, you have listened to your guildmaster speak. You have heard what they've had to say about dealings around, and you've always been inquisitive about power and who seems to be having the most authority in circles right now. And you do know that everyone is trying to gain favor of these certain aquatic people, these certain merfolk that not many of them have had the opportunity to meet. And you do know that's the reason why that you're doing this mission, because you think that it could lead to furthering and bettering these relations between them. But as for the stories that you've heard about them, few things call out to you. One is that they did deal with some calamity in the past, and sure, it was a horrific ordeal, and they prevailed, and things are fine now in the material plane because of it. But the material plane's gone through a lot. A lot of people have done things to save it. A
How
lot
long
of
ago
shit
was
things
this?
have. This was couple of, I'd say, like centuries ago, like 1 or 2 centuries ago. And it's more of like tales that have been passed by sailor to sailor more than anything else. And um, it's not something that you remember immediately as to like, um, like that could warrant such a boastful nature,
That's what I was.
and you think of like this guide that you've gone through before, and it's called Tides of Transpose. And it's a local sailor's guide, and something that's written in it is while the lore of the lands is sung by plenty, the greatness of the waters reach as mere whispers to scurvy ears. But as trade routes further, tales of the people of the sea are spoken of with much excitement. You don't remember what else is written after that, but you do remember that they are special in a way, but not. It's kind of like, get off your high horse. We know you did it, but you've spoken about it so many times. And even you distinctly remember this mood of reading transcripts from the Triton people, and it had this very pompous attitude to them. They would just keep going on like the great Tritons have done this. Okay, the great Titans. So, but yeah, that's what you'd remember. And as the scene continues, Captain Kirk, okay, and even though the eyes seem to be lifeless, it takes on a bit of a sparkle, and they're just like, why, yes, yes, dear traveler, of course. The great Tritons, eh? Yes, like as if having confronted them before and knowing how to deal with this. And it's like, but I do need to ask, dear traveler, what is it you carry in your arms? I've seen you come on board. It's never left your side. You have not released it. And you see as the Titan just stiffens their hands across this little parcel and says, it's just a mere delicacy, nothing else. It says, what would you say it? Um, and they mouth this word. And does anyone have any ability of talking to
Not at
fish?
this level. Not at
Talking to
this level.
fish.
Yeah.
It, mm, would
Or you could give me an intelligence check if you want to figure it out. But the captain looks a little confused and says, "Oh, that sounds exquisite. Maybe we could have just a little bit to revel in its deliciousness." And the Titan immediately stiffens up and says, "Of course not. This is only for royalty. This is only for the greatest of titans. You haven't understood the decades of hunt that has gone into procuring such a fine item, and it cannot just be had by anyone, especially something that doesn't even live to begin with." And looks very like disgusted at this robotic figure in front of them.
I
I
rolled a
rolled a 17
nat
and
20 in understanding fish.
Okay. So I'd say both of you, from the way that they're mouthing it and just syntax in general, you kind of get the idea that they are saying like eggs, fish eggs, and non-canon terms. I mean, non like player terms. It would be kind of like caviar that they have in
well,
it.
as a matter of fact, and I adjust my armor a little, I am a royalty.
Ah, but you are not Triton, are you?
Does that matter?
Yes, it does.
I go up to this one, Ketar, and I'm like, "Ah, is she talking? Is she talking about drugs?"
I mean, you wouldn't call drugs a delicacy per se. unless it's some specially prepared mushrooms. Uh, I mean, you may not be wrong, but I mean, let's see.
Sauteed
Maybe we
mushroom.
find out before the trip is up.
Yeah. Do you wanna see if you can get a little bit?
I don't think we should. We are on a mission here, my dear friend. We cannot afford to stray from the path.
I go. Then I go. Yeah, you're right.
That's a good
Like
call.
I go back. I go back into my shell again.
Well, I may not be a Triton, but what if I can do this? And wave my hand across. I cast shape water as my bottle cork just like shoots up and a bunch of water just comes out and sort of does like a fountain kind of thing in front of me.
Mm-hmm. And
Go deeper
so,
into
You
my
see,
shell.
I have a very close relationship with water and its creatures. I think this might actually suit me.
and you see, as Daria simply laughs and says, "Well, if you are to survive underwater for over 10 minutes, I will give you a bite."
I, I put my head out. I'm like,
Uh, 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 I asked, sir, are you a turtle or a tortoise? I always assumed you were a turtle.
I turn. Like you can already feel the aura change completely, and I'm like, I'm so
Okay,
close to raging.
okay. I mean, have at it.
10 minutes, you say?
I can do an hour.
Well, uh, I cast as the shape water is going on, fountain around me, it creates a bubble around my head, a 5 foot bubble, which is like pretty huge. It's like twice my height. It's a big bubble of air, which is with a thin level of water. This allows me to stay in water for 20 minutes, actually.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Why did I challenge you? Let's see. And as Daria looks over to you, they laugh and they're just like, magical water. How am I to believe that you have not altered it in some way, altered it in your favor? No. Swim with me underwater, in the sea, back with the mother herself, and we'll see how you fare.
For 10 minutes? Sure. Yeah, and
You
I
first?
accept.
Are we? Are
Sorry?
we? Are wait? Are we all supposed to jump into? I
Nobody
thought this
told
was a
us.
joke. We don't have to, right?
As this is happening, the captain goes like, "Now, no jumping off board just yet. Uh, I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but there seems to be a storm brewing, and we should catch wind of it in possibly an hour or so. I'd suggest that you get yourself warmed up, find a place of shelter, and hold on tight."
Hmm.
And
uh, sure. And my shape water transforms into an umbrella for me.
awesome. And nah, Daniel looks amused but does nothing else. They clutch this pouch closer to their body, and you see as they seem to slump into this corner, and it's at an unnatural angle, almost like if they're not used to having to bend or be out of water for such a long period of time. Now, there's a little bit of time before anything major happens. But in this period, I'd like you all to make like an insight or perception check to notice what might be going around. But as adventurers, is there anything in particular that you're interested in? Is it in conversing with your companion, trying to help out on deck with some seafaring, or perhaps explore the tiny boat itself.
I'd like to go up to the captain and just ask him, like in like a very small voice, I'm like, Captain sir, like I like I told you, I'm afraid of water. So how can I
Good.
help as a person who's afraid of water?
Now, the first thing that you need to learn to not be afraid is to know how to float. And I'm going to tell you straight out that that hard shell on your back, it could help or it could weigh you down. Is there any way for you to dispose yourself of it?
I would die.
Well, you will die in water with it as well. Now, there are certain artifacts that could help you with swimming underneath them. Like, I've heard of a necklace that can do this. Let's do. Maybe you could procure yourself one of these at a local store at the next port. Or if you are willing, I could teach you how to swim. But there is no guarantee that you will not die.
There's like a little bit of hesitation, but slowly, like it goes, like it's like tiny screams now. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it.
But you know who would be even better?
Who?
Your fine companion right there.
Oh no.
The merfolk.
Oh yes.
They practically live in water. They would know how to they would teach you how to swim like a fish.
She terrifies me.
Oh, they seem to be a little protective over things and quite protective of their own legacy that I have not heard of. But I've heard multiple times it's that kind. But I'm sure that in your travel together, they would be able to tell you, to teach you more. Concerning that, where is it that you're going?
And then I like think back and I'm trying to remember if I'm allowed to say where I'm going. And then I think about it. Can I just roll like an insight to see if I should tell them or not? Oh no. Where is this thing? Wait, I'm just gonna use it here. One second, sorry. I keep messing about with the. Where is the dice thing? I just rolled it. I'm just gonna
Close
dice here.
down the tabs you don't need, Akib.
I no, it's literally the Discord thing. Okay, fine. Okay, yes. And that is an 11. Do I
And
feel like telling him or?
I'd say with an 11, you'd possibly be excited, in your case, terrified at the prospect of it. So it would be more like you're complaining to him
I was like,
about your
so much
situation.
water, so much. Do you know how much of the world is covered with water? 77%. Did you know
Ah,
that?
and which part of this water are you going to?
That's 67% of probably that water.
But where exactly, my good friend, are you
And then
going?
I slowly turn away. I'm going back into my shell, going like, why am I talking to people? It's worse.
And you see, the captain. Sorry, your roles, though. If anybody wanted to have an insight or perception around.
Oh yeah, I did roll. Wait, I messed up the die. I forgot what I rolled.
I rolled a
I just
23.
rolled again. Oh,
Three.
22. Not bad.
Natural
Awesome.
17.
So there are a couple of things that both of you notice as you're just looking around. You're waiting for the storm to pass. You notice as the turtle walks up to the captain, taking quiet, like unbalanced steps up the stairway to reach them. And as you're looking around, there's a couple of things that you notice. You notice that when the sailors come and offer you mugs of mead, taking a sniff of it, you have a feeling that it smells a little off in some certain way. You don't know what that smell is, but it smells a little odd. It doesn't smell like the meat that you usually have. And now, taverns might differ, but meat usually stays the same. And this stays flavored in some way almost. You look at the captain, and the captain seems to be spending quite amount of time shooting a look, a glance over and over again at Daria. You also notice that the crew, as they work around you and their clothes shift about or the light catches their metallic body in certain angles, you notice that they all seem to carry a symbol of sorts. And the symbol is an engraving of a circle in which there's a sword that's uh, just staked through what seems to be the lines of waves. And this is a symbol that seems to be on all of them. You can give me a history check to see if you recognize the symbol, but this is what you notice around. You also, there's nothing else that you notice about this. But I'd say because you both got such high rolls, you notice that there seems to be the sounds of chains pulling against each other underneath here.
Underneath.
Hmm.
Okay, so 12 on history. Does that tell me?
Where was it? Sorry.
Here. So you notice there's
Okay.
some sounds coming underneath, but when you look inside, it's too dark to really see what's happening.
Okay.
With 11 in history, you don't really remember where you might have seen this.
12. So 12.
12. No, it still doesn't help.
Is the darkness magical in nature? Or
Even from looking from here, it seems to be that it is obscured with some sort of magical feeling to it. It's just this ominous aura that's coming off it.
hmm. In that case, I would like to activate my divine sense. Um, detect good and evil until the spell location of any good, evil, location of fey, fiend, celestial, undead. I'll be able to see.
Okay.
So, what do I get from the? I'm staring at the darkness.
So,
And
so you look into it, and Nelda, as you're looking into this, peering into this darkness and trying to detect the presence of any sort of evil, you find none. And but as your eyesight travels and you peer your eyes to just look in closer, it's almost kind of like this recurring nightmare you've had. And this was before Lady Dara took you into their service. This is a feeling you had when you were conflicted with thought or an idea, or you felt bound by something. This feeling of drowning in the abyss of the sea. And it's a similar feeling of being trapped and something being hidden away. And though you can't see inside and though you don't detect any evil presence, there's this ominous atmosphere to the place. And this just kind of like startles you even more when you smell this unpleasantness almost, this sickeningly sweet nature to the meat that you're drinking.
uh,
Hmm.
I'll just roll to see. No. I turn to whoever's closest to me. I'm guessing Habibi and Quay, was it?
Wait, wait.
Quay. And I tell them, I sense a great deal of conflict coming from inside. The two of you seem to be seasoned warriors, uh, heroes in your own making. Would you assist me in venturing forth into the darkness to try to comprehend what lies underneath?
I look at Quay and I whisper, "Is he talking to us?"
Yeah, I thought he was the hero. I thought he was the one who killed the dragon.
Also, what does seasoned warrior mean? Like
Like, you know,
all
oregano?
winter. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, okay, okay. I look at Neldor
Yes.
and like, yes, chromatic dragon, we'll do it.
What he said.
Layer of chromatic dragons.
Oh, you
Oh,
killed.
you layer of chromatic.
Oh,
Ah.
I'm not one myself.
Okay, I'm gonna roll inside.
I also want to roll inside.
That is not great though. That is a
Wait,
7.
wait, wait,
No, wait,
wait.
wait. Sorry. That's persuasion. Insight is what 4 plus 6 is how much? It's a 10.
18.
4 plus. Yeah. So Akib, you would know that. Yeah, I'm
Habibi.
not a chromatic dragon. I'm just a skin-colored humanoid. Um, but with a 10, you're not so sure. You might think that skin color is a lies on the chromatic spectrum.
Oh my
So
god.
I don't know.
I look at Quay
On
and
a
I'm
good
like,
day under the right sunlight,
Yeah.
I'm a dragonborn.
Yeah, I think like it would be hilarious if Quay just thought that dragons and dragonborns are the same and is just terrified of dragonborns.
No, I mean I would be terrified of this guy.
so layer of chromatic dragons. Shall we go forth and like I'm trying to copy him now. So shall we go forth and dot it in its face?
Yes, let's
Pumps
go
me
do
up.
the dotting.
The usage of the same language. Yes, we shall conquer this evil that lies in our path.
Conquer us with a K. Like we go.
Okay.
I'm willing to roll
And
for this.
how are you guys going about this? Like, are you just going to just open a door and get down underneath? Are you going to ask somebody about something? Are you trying some other tactic to peek or recce ahead?
I'm gonna open
Uh,
the door.
no, 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 no. Okay. He just opens it. I'm like sad because I had an idea of like becoming a shell, and then you guys carry me in as though I'm barrel.
Yeah, the Trojan shell.
Yeah, the
Oh
It's a
yeah,
Trojan shell.
classic.
you could suggest that as I'm about to open it.
I'm like,
And
yeah, I have an idea. I have an idea.
you know what? That does sound like the strategy many uh, use that
Like, yeah, yeah, I have
the
an idea. I have an
frozen
idea.
war.
Without missing a beat.
Okay, so how is this scene happening? So this thing, Habibi, you're like,
I take my hand and I like how I saw him do that cool shape water thing. So I'm trying to be very similar. And I'm like, and then I put my hands inside, and then I put my legs inside. And I'm like shit, and I fall to the floor. And then I slowly like go into my shell. So it's just me inside my shell.
okay, cool. And Naldo, what are you doing? Are you picking up Habibi? What are you doing?
Yeah, I tell Koi, I hope you're strong enough to pick this.
Me?
Are you not?
I am not at all. But
It's
however, I
okay.
can still try and help. So let's go.
Just try to hold it from the front. I'll do most of
Yeah.
the lifting.
Alright. Alright.
Like I whisper.
Where are we taking him though?
Guys, are you doing this
Downstairs.
stealthily or are you like
No,
taking
it's
him
like
down?
every staircase there's like a ding 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 as his head hits the staircase.
Stealth and all is not happening. It's a
Stealth
minus
and
one
all,
with
no, no. We
disadvantage
we
for me.
don't need to stealth, it's fine.
So as you go past, you see as the path down is here, and as you both carry Habibi forward, And Daria looks away at you and sees what you're doing. They have this puzzled look on their face, but they don't say anything. You start moving down, and you notice as the sailors like slowly start to come forward to just see what you're doing. But when once you open the door, you are immediately stopped by the cheery face of a rusted robot looking at you and saying, like, "Sirs, no, it's quite crowded down. We have a lot of cargo that we're shifting from one place to another. It would not be safe for you to be underneath, especially in such turbulent seas. Might we suggest and plead with you that you remain up on board to
We are
come down?"
not heading down mindlessly. We have some cargo of our own that we need to store downstairs where all the other cargo is stored safely. This is more valuable than you could imagine. So I suggest you step aside.
Like
Your
you could.
cargo, your
I'm blushing.
cargo has has a remarkable resemblance to the companion that you had previously with the rest of your party that we did not see anywhere else because, and they look very like ironically down at the shell, like because they are um not to presume hibernating.
It is true indeed. Yeah, they do hibernate. They are, as you can see, turtle and not tortoise. They do not deal well with water. And there is a bunch of splashes that go around on the top deck. They need to be in dry area or they will die immediately.
See, I see. We do have some liquid, a potion that could help with the seasickness. Might we offer you that instead?
It doesn't say sickness. Seasickness is a mere ailment that can be cured with any minor magic. This is sea toxicity. This person will die, don't you understand? Now make way.
Uh, Give me an intimidation check or a deception check.
Oh no, I dropped my dice. Okay, I have another one.
Could I do like a
Intimidation.
gutter while he's doing
Yeah,
all of this?
you can take a help action with that and get an advantage.
Oh nice, because I rolled a 3. So with advantage, okay, that's a 24.
The the sailor seems quite convinced. They are not quite too sure yet, and you do get the sense that they might be afraid of disobeying their captain, so they do yell out quite loudly. Yes, of course we'll find a warm spot for your turtle friend. Come now, and maybe he'd like this as well. And you could give me a check to stop this if you want to, but essentially takes out this potion bottle and dumps it into the shell.
What the
What?
fuck?
Yeah, I would very much like to stop it. I might use athletics to push him away, to shoulder him away, and yell, not yell, but sternly say that uh, liquids are toxic to my friend, don't you understand?
Okay. Give me your athletics versus the sleight of hand. My sleight of hand.
Okay, oh no. My athletics is only a 10.
Mine's a 17. And I'd say with a 10, you would feel that you had accomplished what you had done. What is your passive perception in?
14.
14? Okay, yeah. So you don't notice that this liquid has been slipped into your friend's shell, and the soldier quickly leaves aside. Oh, oh, hard to get those sea legs immediately, right? Not to worry, not to worry. I'll take your friend down, and they just like, do you hand over your turtle friend? Do you hand over Habibi to the sailor?
No, we will take him down. He's our friend.
Now, sir, I don't want you to hurt yourself making your way down.
Stranger danger. From the within itself.
Do you not look at me, decked from the top to the bottom with armor? If anything that can hurt me, it can hurt you worse.
And you saw how he pulled a book out of his ass? You can do it out of yours too.
Okay, but you might find that as you'll find it a little hard to see below. So allow me to assist you a little bit. And they go down, and there's Warforge can't see in the dark.
I
Okay,
have no,
they go
I have
down,
dark vision.
and be taken down. Arthur, could you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Of course. Of course.
Okay, barbarian could be good.
Yeah, very good. That's a 17 plus a lot of shit. One
Nice.
second.
Oh,
Constitution plus 5, so 18, 19, 19, 20.
awesome. So you feel like this sort of drowsiness take you, as almost when you're swaying with the rocking of the boat at sea, and you yawn, almost wondering whether it is really time for a bit of hibernation. But you snap of it quickly once you hear the sound of like the sailor themselves hitting against something and an audible ouch. Okay, but they are made out of metal. And you look at
Faint receptors only in the toes.
but you look around and you're looking out of your shell a little bit and you can't really see much. You seem to have shaked off whatever was trying to overtake you. And all of you are now standing in complete darkness. The sailor, just from their like presence feels to be a couple of feet in front of you, but there's not much that you can see. And the sailor keeps like in a very anxious way saying, "Oh, let me find the lights. Don't worry, I will find the light soon or a light source." But this darkness itself, it seems to have an absence of any essence of light at all. It seems to be absolute darkness around. And though there's sounds of things rocking, it also seems to be muted in some way.
Seems to be muted.
That's what I was thinking.
Hmm. Um, how long does my divine sense last? End of your next turn. Okay. I would like to once again close my eyes, and everyone would feel a little more humid than usual for about 6 seconds. When I open my eyes, I cast divine sense once again to understand what's going
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
on. Arcana, that is not gold. Wait, where is it? Nat 20.
Amazing. So, so Nelda, now you grew up as royalty. You grew up around esteemed spellcasters. Your parents themselves are renowned in knowing and excelling in their schools of magic. And because of this, you have a certain attunement to magical auras and what the feeling of that sort of magical awareness gives you in standing in the presence of power itself. And while you stand here, you recognize what you identify to be sort of defensive spells in work
Ooh.
right here. You understand from the way that your castle itself operates and the sort of security measures placed at certain parts of it. You notice that there seems to be um, something lying in stealth over here, something that is kept away from praying eyes.
Okay.
Oh.
But also to your distance, because you got such a high roll, you would understand that darkness and silence is at work here.
Mm.
So when the person like hit him and said ouch and all, could I hear them?
You heard an ouch. You find it odd in a sort of like, in that way that you have a realization because you want to make a nasty comment about someone. You know? And it's like this metallic man hits against something. With the ouch, you're just like, ha ha ha, how can you feel? Like, how, you know, like, how can you feel? Okay, and you think that maybe it's not us?
What the fuck? Uh, I I start like moving to see, like just shifting a little bit to see if I'm being carried still, or if I like some what's happening.
It's just being carried by Neldar and Koi, who are now like feeling quite uncomfortable in this
I'm like
position.
I'm feeling claustrophobic. Like I'm now like telling them like I'm feeling claustrophobic.
Oh, do you
You
wish to
live in a
be?
shell. What do you mean you feel claustrophobic?
I have a lot of issues. Okay, leave me alone.
Okay,
Do you wish to be dropped?
I I think I can walk from here.
I will drop you.
Oh,
And then like I get dropped. There's like a thud. Then like a hands come out and my heads come out and I try to stand.
Okay. Do any of you have dark vision by any chance?
yeah,
I don't know if turtles
I
have
have
dark
dark
vision.
vision.
Oh yeah, I think all of you. I don't know if turtles are,
I'm just like
but I'd say that with your perception and looking around, where the light does seem to be streaming in a little bit would be from behind you, where the door is open and you came through, and it's almost like right outside. You see as the shadows from outside fall inside on the stairway. You notice you notice but can't hear two shadows fighting. One
Two
that
what now?
seems two shadows fighting. One that seems to be kind of like trying to get away and reach towards like a sword, while the other tries to grab something from it.
Um, Looking at this, I would actually like to storm back up into the light and yell for the captain. Captain Hook, was it? What is the meaning of this? I believed this was a harmless voyage, but are you smuggling a creature? I say as I'm walking up the steps with very like heavy foot, like making noise with my feet.
Okay, and as you reach upstairs, you notice that the captain seems to be like seems to have a arm on Daria's shoulder, and Daria, who's like fiercely protecting that package, is like it looks at you, Nelda, as you come upstairs and yells at you like, "Call those buffoon guards! They're supposed to protect me!" And they like try to take out this sword from their side to attack at the captain, who seems to be just kind of like like moves away in this like I didn't do nothing sort of manner and says like yeah, all I was saying is that if it's a delicacy, maybe shared. And they like take out like their gun. They take out like this one musket or something from the side and just kind of like point it at Daria and says like, "Now come on now, the voyage is for free, isn't it? Why don't you share?"
uh, if Neldar is walking up, would it be okay if I also rushed with him because I was feeling claustrophobic as fuck in that dark.
Yeah, yeah, that works because Cosmic is have. You would hear the tail end of this. I'd like you all to roll initiative. And
Even
Yeah,
Oh God! Why does it always suck?
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Nat
Okay,
one.
wow.
Did you just roll on that one?
Yep.
I thought I did bad. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
nice.
I did well, and I have a
Well,
minus
I have
one.
a
I have an
plus
18.
3, so 4.
Wow, you might still do as good as me. That is a 4. Wow.
Oh, roll
Wow.
off, roll off.
Oh, sure. Okay, we can roll off.
Wait, how much did you get, Kush?
18.
14.
18. Wow. What's your dex?
Minus one.
19, bitch.
19. Nice. Okay, you go first.
Yeah.
How am I always like this? I thought new year, new me and all, dude.
Technically, yeah, yeah. Right.
Wait,
So,
who got higher? G or Akif?
No, Akib,
Habibi, Habibi.
Habibi.
Got it. Awesome. So these are your positions right now. I'd say that G, where you're at, it would take you half your movement to get outside.
Alright.
Right now, the other two are outside. You notice as as they that is- okay. So you'll notice as the this thing as Captain Cook tries to like focus all their attention on Daria immediately. They look at the both of you approaching and yell out to the rest of the sailors. They're like, "Merryman, take them down!" and then tie them down. And immediately like holds up this like flintlock, like this sort of metallic
Uh,
gun, and just takes an aim at Daria, right at their leg, and takes one shot.
from point blank, that is disadvantage on range attack. I don't want it to die. No, but
not if they have crossbow expert.
yeah, fuck it, dude. Just gonna die.
Eh, Oh. So you see, as they take a shot, and as they do, Daria leaps to the side immediately, almost trying to find their way closer to the edge of the ship to jump off board and into water where they find themselves safer. As soon as they do, they look at you coming forward, Quay, and they're just like, "Attack him! Save me! Take
Yes,
the
on
ship
it.
in your control if you need to."
I don't know how to do
And
that.
sorry, that would be yelling at actually you, Habibi, since you're outside. And after that, they take another. They take out their sword from the side and go right in front to take another swipe at Daria. Let's see if they do. They fail once more as Daria evades, and they stand and look at look at the sailors and go again like, beat them down now. We have orders to follow. And as these people rush forward, Daria turns around, and immediately you see as you hear the sound of like ocean waves crashing against each other almost as their sword starts to radiate with this blue energy, and seeing the captain right behind them, they take one shot at the captain,
Okay.
Okay.
and that does not hit, sadly. Oh god, all the hits are not happening. What the hell? These are so many rolls also. Again, they try to take two swipes at the captain. They do not succeed in doing so. They attempt to move out of the way and go on top. They are not successful against that type of opportunity. And immediately the captain just, slashes at Daria's leg. And Daria, you can see, beneath that scaly blue skin, starts to bleed this sort of warm, darkish red blood. And as they climb forward towards the top, they reach the top of the ship here on top deck here. Come to Kush, your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to rush towards Captain Crook as the wave hits the ship and makes a clashing sound.
Mhm.
That sound is complemented by the sounds of my armor clanking together. And out of nowhere, almost, I appear in front of the captain. sort of covering his path to the area. And I would like to make one attack first.
Okay.
Um, does 17 hit?
A 17. A 17 does hit.
Okay, that's where are my d8s? 1 second, sorry. Here it is. That is 7 plus 4 is 11 points of damage, slashing. And I say, stand your troops down. Stop this vile act at once. Um, and
Two attacks. One more attack.
I have two attacks, but I want to just like use this as a warning shot of sorts
Okay.
and attack once and just stand tall in front of him, like as close as I can get to him, like my chest touching his chest.
Got it. Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh, nice. With advantage. Nat 20.
Amazing. So as you stand in front of the captain and talk down to them, it's almost like, having faced a chromatic dragon before. What is this weird, like, unique metallic thing? And you stare them down, and he starts to quiver, almost shake, and you can almost hear the bolts just like vibrating against each other as he takes a step back but still holds steady. And he goes to you clear in your face. He's like, I made this much worse things to fear than a pesky little prince on board the ship. And just waits in the ready to take an attack at you next if needed. As soon as your turn ends, essentially all the bandits start to rush forward. Sorry, not the bandits, the sailors start to rush forward. Oh god, this is going to take a little bit of economy. 30. Okay, so damn guys. I hope you have AoE spells.
Very funny.
No spells whatsoever.
Well, luckily enough, most of them have spent their whole time running towards you, and there are only two of them that are actually standing. So you see, as you know, Kwe, as you start to come towards the exit, you see as your shelled friend in front of you standing blocking most of the entryway, and past them, you see as the sailors from on top of top decks leap down to attack your friend. You see as others rush forward as well. You see the prince elf that you're traveling with rush to the right to get into a clash with the captain. Suddenly confused by all this, the next thing you notice is one of the sailors take a swipe to dig right into the neck, right between the space between the neck and the shell of Habibi. Habibi, let's see if this hits you. Does a 16 hit?
Just misses. It's like
Just a miss.
17,
Ooh.
17,
Ah,
just
as,
misses. Unless it's
as,
16 plus something.
no, it's just
Yeah.
16. As it grazes against your shell and you push against this bandit's blade, they start to like move back a little bit. When another one you see in front of you rushes forward to hit Neldor instead. Neldor, oh, oh my,
Oh, you're kidding me. I don't like the way you sound.
that 20.
Give it to me.
Oh no!
Awesome.
It's to
I mean,
Neldor, no?
yeah, it's to Neldor. Shit, that's terrible damage though, but let's see what you get. Oh, Naldo's so fucking lucky. It's just a D6 and I rolled a 1 on the D6.
Well,
So
it's
you take 2 points of damage.
I take 0 points of damage because I have heavy armor expert.
Oh
Oh my
wow!
god.
Oh my god.
Such bullshit. Okay.
And the sailor and this pirate sailor, and you can feel coming closer to you, Nelder, and it's almost like as if Lady Dara has your back, and she pushes her energy out of your suit of armor, and it just stops the pirate's blade right a couple of inches from the metal as their thing, inhuman eyes stare you down. The other four you see are closing up a little close. They spent the whole thing running.
Oh no. I think, did that fuck up?
That
No,
was a
it'll be fine.
misclick. That was a misclick.
It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Is that
We're
okay? Yeah,
back.
if
yeah.
Yes.
OBS is fine. Yeah, cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool. Okay.
OBS is fine.
Okay. But
Kush, while you're editing this
Yeah.
part, okay.
yeah,
And cut.
awesome. So that is the pirates round. Akib, it's your turn. What is Habibi doing?
Habibi wants to do a really dumb thing, which is, but first, before he does any of that, he will obviously rage, and the
Uh,
soul goes. "Ah!" But like, but as like his eyes glaze over for the first time ever, you see Habibi completely comfortable, holding on to his great axe, smiling, because what he sees in front of him is not the sea, it's his land, and he sees like little flowers going about, and he's like, "Oh, I have to cut these weeds down." So he's taking like he doesn't see like a great axe in his hand. He sees like this nice scythe, and he's going about, and he's like, "Oh, there are so many weeds today," and like he's talking to them, to the pirates, and he's just saying like, "There's so many weeds today." And I don't know if I don't know if you're gonna allow this, but like I would like to. This is what I would like to do. I would like to start spinning, right?
Okay. Okay.
And then pull my blade inside, like the handle of my blade inside as I'm
Okay.
spinning,
Okay.
and then let it like a top go and see if I can attack all of them. I won't be using an extra attack. I will literally be using this one attack.
Yeah, so it'll still be considered an unarmed strike.
As long it's up to you guys.
I'll
How does
give
it look?
you. I will let you have an advantage on an unarmed strike and go ahead with it.
So is it still technically a great weapon that I'm swinging around?
No,
It won't be.
you're hitting it with your legs, so I'd say you could use it to swing, and then like pull it out and hit if you'd like. But if it's your own body, it would be unarmed strike.
Okay, then it's fine. Then the idea, I'm just gonna take a swing at one of the pirates in front of me.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
You can still rotate on your back and hit their legs with like your
I,
blade.
whichever version of this is where I basically get to rotate like a top with my blade out like this. It's what
Go ahead, go
I do.
ahead. I mean, if you have a ridiculous attack roll, I'll allow it. Allow you to hit more than one person.
Okay, cool. That's a 15 plus a 5. No, wait.
should be more.
15 plus a 6. So that will be a 21.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. So there are six of them around you. Oh my God, Akib. Okay. So how about this? This is a little bit of me making up my own rules for this, but you were successfully able to hit five of them out of six. And I'd say that you roll your damage, but each of them takes half of it.
Gotcha. Cool. I'm okay with that. I'm on.
Okay.
So that's a 1d12 plus 3. So, tapa, 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 ta. 1d12. Not bad. That is an 8 plus 3, 9, 10, 11. And because of rage, I get plus 1, right?
That's two.
Plus
Plus
2, I
2.
think, for rage.
Plus 2, plus 2. Yeah.
So 13 total.
Yeah, 13 total. They take half of that.
Awesome. So they you see, and that's about 6 points of damage to each. And this seems to have wounded them pretty quickly because even though none of the warforged here seem to bleed, your attack seems to have unhinged them and have it seems to have caught them right at any parts where joints might be loose. And you see as they start to wobble a little bit more, so because of the way that the ship is turning in the turbulence of these waves as well. And they see you seem to have greatly unsettled them. So that was a great job. Um, uh, at this moment, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Uh, because I raged, you see like a tiny tail appear behind me, and it's usually supposed to look like a some kind of like strong looking. This looks like a whip,
Okay,
and it's like a rat's tail.
okay, okay.
But yeah, that's what you guys see right now.
Awesome.
Do I still have my second attack, or because I did that, or we're just assuming that I don't have
No,
second?
no, no. You do still have a second attack, but
Um,
you could
I'm just gonna attack the one that looks weakest with my tail.
done.
Yeah, this one with my tail. Who's further away from me?
I'd say the green one, the one next to Nelda.
I'm a try going for that one.
Okay,
Basically, hit that with my tail.
go for it. Are
Okay.
you getting closer to it, or
It's is that 10 feet only away from me? Because my tail would be able
uh,
to reach that.
yeah? Oh my god, that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh my
Uh,
god. So, Koi, as you're rushing upstairs, you notice that beneath this largish shell, okay, it's just a silhouette of a large shell that just like
Scaramouche,
it's this.
Scaramouche. Sorry.
It's a very like it's like watching a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles intro where it's just a silhouette of this turtle that suddenly gets on his back and rotates as like these four shadowy figures suddenly get cut in this very anime scene and they get up and start to rush forward. But before they do, from their back you see something that looks like a poo dropping almost. And elongate itself and then just reach out like a
Oh
whip to the
God.
side.
and that's a 16 to hit.
Does that hit? Oh, sorry.
That
Does
hit.
that
How
hit? Yeah, I was gonna ask. That does hit. It does it.
Okay, that is not too much. That's like two
Two.
points of
Okay.
piercing damage. That's it.
Awesome. Okay. They seem. That's the one that you didn't get to hit earlier, and it is hit now. It seems to be a little like taken aback by this, but it still continues with a steady look on Neldor. That takes us to G's turn. What is Quay doing?
So as Square is coming up, you see the tattoos that are on his arm like kind of melt together and then expand and form like inky masses on his fist.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna first take two nice attacks at I have 15 feet reach for melee
Holy, what the fuck?
on the captain and this guy.
Oh, I forgot to put this.
Hey, let's go! Wait, duck for the camera. There we go. Okay, fuck. Wait, I will. Yeah. So 1 minute. Yeah. First attack on the captain. That is that's a 18 to hit.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a key point to do hand of harm. So I am for my damage. I am rolling. I have a lot. I have a lot going on. 1 second.
No worries.
5,
They're called
9,
issue.
12 plus 4. is what 16 plus 16 plus what is hand of arm plus 3 16 19 points of damage on the first one. If he has any immunities, I will give you breakup.
Poison only.
Okay, no, then yeah, good.
Okay, sorry, how
Uh,
much was that?
19 points of damage on the first one
Oh, okay,
on the
awesome.
captain. I'm just gonna go through everyone. My main thing is next attack on this guy.
The
Yeah,
green one?
yes, that is a 13 to hit.
A 13? 13 just hits.
Okay, beautiful. Fuck it, I'm blowing everything. Hand of arm again. Let's go. I'm hoping we get a short rest after this, guys. Otherwise, we are fucked later on.
So screwed.
2, 5, 9 plus 9 plus 4 plus 7. Sorry, 9 plus 7 is what? 16 points of damage on this guy.
Okay.
And then I am gonna go and.
Wait, how do you want to do that? How do you want to take him down? He is
Oh, so
down.
basically, like the reach is not like my hand. You see, whenever I just like punch in the air and like this inky black tendril goes and then whips around them and then hits them and comes back. And this guy just goes, wraps around his neck and just like body slams him onto the deck.
Oh my god, awesome.
Yes. And now,
Like,
flurry of blows. Okay, next guy. The purple one. Who I'm also going to use Hand of Harm. You better take a short rest. That is a
That's
lot.
all of
That's
your
a
key
natural
points.
18.
Oh my god.
Okay,
We have to
3,
fight somebody else after this, I'm
6,
sure.
Finished all his key points in one
9
turn.
plus 7. Again, 16 points of damage.
Like in my vision.
do this.
What the fuck?
I would like to imagine that the tentacle just like flings him overboard. Next, the yellow guy.
Oh my god.
That is a
It's like
natural
one after
17
the
to
other.
hit. I'm again
Hits.
blowing everything. 3 plus 7. Sorry, 3, 7 plus 6. 13 plus 7. 20 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Let's just say that I'm not very creative right now. It just like pulls his leg, and then like just like yeah, he just pulls his leg, and like he falls on the floor, lifts him up, and drops him again on the floor.
Amazing. Awesome. So like
In the viewpoint of like Habibi.
Habibi, like you are raging, okay? You are finally feeling at peace being at sea right now, and you feel yourself extend and elongate as your tail comes out and takes a whack at the dude near Naldor, and as it hits, you're just like, haha, okay, proud after having been your like spinning tortella form. And then after that, getting up and doing a tail whip, like you had like a whole Pokemon thing happening here, okay, with your attacks. After like Daria had yelled at you to guard them. And then suddenly, okay, now I don't know, like way comes out, and it's like in Shrek when Prince Charming comes and they have like Prince Charming and his hair is just like billowing in the wind. Same way Koi jumps on board, okay? And as they do, the sea salt in the air just like whipping their hair around their elven features. You see as these tendrils come out from their arms, go like whack, whack, whack. Okay? Takes out three of these pirates just in one shot, and then there's like, what is there like a line that you say to your tortoise friend when they come
No,
here?
but I'm gonna action surge. And no, I'm joking. I can't do that. I can't do that in this
Yeah, I
turn.
was like, how do
I can't do that. I can't do
points with
that.
an
Kush is the
action
one who
surge?
got it immediately, but I can't do that.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's my
like,
turn.
but like, I'll just look at him. And, Father Habibi, you
That's my
cut the
turn.
weeds well.
These
Oh man.
three broken down metallic bodies are now shaking on the boat and slowly moving. You notice as balance itself seems to shake a bit. You look overhead and storm clouds seem to rapidly approach you all. You feel this drizzle on your skin as you're engaged in this battle. Two pirates are still left on your side. In front, Captain Cook is still on their path towards Daria, with Naldor blocking them momentarily. That's the end of round one. Going to round two, Captain Cook takes two shots at you, Kush. Let's see how that goes. There's 18 hit. No.
Wow, what is this armor class?
Good. That's even okay.
It's
There's a
Kush's
19 hit.
favorite
Nope.
character. What do
Okay,
you
that
think
is
its armor
amazing.
class is going to be? Some fucking 22 or something.
There's a shield of
So
faith also
Maybe
on
can be 20
So
this time.
you
Can be.
basically what happens is that Captain Cook looks at you, Nelda, and says, "Get out of my way, Princey," and takes two shots with their flintlock at you. And it seems almost like, and it's this weird way, Naldo. You're standing there in all your magnificence on the stairway, and as these bullets come at you, it's almost like the moment before they hit you, a wave splashes on board the ship, and tendrils similar to the ones that Koi has, similar in form at least. As these waves come forward, it seems to just push the bullet out of your direction, almost as if you had the blessing of Dara herself, and no harm shall befall you. You stand there, almost just kind of like this thing taunting the captain on. They this thing growl and with a scowl come forward and try to push you out of the way and walk past you. You have an attack of opportunity. They seem to be making their way right up to
Yeah,
Daria.
I will take that attack of opportunity, and that is again a 17 to hit.
It does not hit. You notice as when you try to hit them, this sort of magical shimmer starts to come over their body, and to deflect your attack, they immediately take out their long sword and just hold it on guard against you.
Oh, you have some neat tricks as well.
Homebrewed character.
Okay, is it still their turn? They're still moving towards.
Yeah, they're still moving. They have almost reached Daria. I mean, they're actually right behind them. And right now it's Daria's turn. Daria immediately tries to move past Captain Cook to get to the other side. Uh, Damn it! What can we do? Okay, I'd say that they don't want to risk jumping into the ocean just yet, but are willing to. So they're going to go all the way here. And opportunity does not get them. They're able to evade Captain Cook again. And as they stand over here, they you see as Daria suddenly yells something out to the sea, almost as if pleading, asking for help, but in a language you don't recognize. That's their turn. Kush, it's your turn now.
Once again, climbing up the stairs, making a lot of noise with their feet.
Also,
Nelda.
sorry. Also, at the beginning of this round, sorry, when these waves were hitting and crashing against the boat, it's made it a little harder for you to move around to see a lot. So you can consider the ship right now as difficult terrain.
Hmm, that's okay. Cool. I'll walk up the stairs, making a lot of noise with
Mhm.
my armored shoes. And I told you to stop. You decided to go overboard, and I shoved them with my shield.
Noise.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
That is, oh, that's a lot. 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
They're pushed 10 feet back, so I'm guessing they're gonna fly overboard.
Okay, I will make a athletic save for them to see if
It's
they can
not
catch
a
you.
save.
Sorry?
It's not a save. They're pushed 10 feet back.
No, to see if they can grab on
Okay, yeah, sure.
as a reaction. Oh, that is horrible. They do not. And you see as Captain Cook like flies off this boat, right? And if they have to come back on, it'll take at least one round. But right now, you see that the captain is overboard. You have taken them to the plank. And what else would you like to do, Nelda?
I would like to like come over here. Like I push the captain from here, in the direction of the sea, and then I would like to just move till here.
Okay.
Yell at the other two pirates that your captain is gone. If you wish to stay, you better cooperate. That's all.
And I seeing that as Nellor is doing that, I just like punch my knuckles against each other and just feel like, listen to the man.
Weeds
Okay.
must be weeded.
You see that
I don't know which is more scarier. It's just escalating.
the two pirates seem to like be quite terrified, especially having seen so many of their companions fall immediately. But one of them grabs this anchor over here and starts rushing forward till here and throws it overboard. The other one looks at you, Quay, and attempts to take a hit against you.
Would we get
Does
opportunity on one of them?
Yeah,
no, the other wait, Quay, you would probably get an opportunity on this guy
let me
because
go
you're
for it.
15 feet, right?
Yep. Oh, wait, is it 15 feet to the fucking spot where he's running? If it is, then I won't get an opportunity.
No. He's 15 feet away from you right now.
Okay, it's not
Like
15 feet to
listen,
the railing. If it
yeah,
basically you can take like opportunity attacks only when they're leaving your attack range. So we're good. Uh, not 20.
oh my god.
Eee.
Wow. Okay, cool. So, how do you kill him as he
How
tries
do
Let me
to?
you
roll. Let me
murder him?
roll.
He's
How do
That
holding
is
you
an anchor.
murder him?
9 plus. I mean, not so much because I'm not doing the crazy shit. However, it is still a 25, no, 26 to damage.
Oh my god, yeah, that takes him down.
As he's going to throw the, as he's going to throw the anchor, I just use like an inky tendril to drag to catch like the rope or the chain of the anchor and just tug the anchor back, whether the anchor just impales him and drags him back.
Awesome. Okay, and this as this guy's impaled to the side, you see as this last this thing pirate just standing over there
I
and
would
just
look at him and I'd be like, "Take your best shot."
it's really hilarious because it's this sort of like Star Wars moment when it's the last droid on field looking like fuck. I was not programmed to do this shit. Oh god, let's see what it gets. It does not hit, okay? It's like quaking and it's like tries to take a hit at you, Quay, but as it you can see it goes into this very metallic tone, it goes like it goes like this
I'll just be
and
like,
as it
"Boo!" when it's about to take the swing.
and it just shakes at that moment and all of you watch as this blade flies across the deck and just like spearheads into a column of wood. And this last pirate just kind of looks at all of you awkwardly. That's, that's
Like
the end of
waiting.
their turn. It's Akab, it's you with G on deck.
I smash it with Great Weapon Mastery and then hit it. So that is 18 minus 5, so that's 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Does 13 still hit?
Yeah,
13 does
13 is
hit.
their AC.
Okay, so that is a 1d12. That's 12 plus 3, 15
That's
plus 10, 25.
25?
Yeah, that is
How do you
one
want to
one
do
hit.
this?
What he sees is like this thin weed, this tiny weed, and like what he think he's doing is like, and like that's all. But what actually is happening is me hacking and like slowly driving the blade down and making sure that his entire body like cleaves in
Oh
half.
my god. Amazing. Okay.
And like I still have another attack, and I'm still like raging and like rage and angry. So I turn to, oh, I have two more. I turn to Quay, and I'm like, it's a little difficult to tell if you're a weed or not. So I was like,
Not a weed. Not a
Father
weed,
Habibi,
baby.
who
Not
are
a weed.
you?
All the weeds are weeded. All the weeds are weeded.
Like the last thing I do is like I walk towards Neldor, who's still not identified himself as weed or this one. So as I'm walking up to him, I'm
Also
telling
not
him,
a weed.
weed or not weed, weed or not weed.
Okay, cool.
Eldor does not respond, just looks at you.
Not a weed. Not a weed.
Okay, then. He's
Oh,
going
okay.
to no, he's not. He's gonna get close, and then he senses it. And he's like, okay, not weed, not weed. And
It's
then,
okay. Attack no. With a
oh, you wanna
with a
actually?
with a +6 and grade 1 master, you can't hit me.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can hit you. Then.
Really? In the middle
Okay,
of
wait.
Nat
I
28.
wanna.
Nat
I
28.
can't. I can't. I'm sure I won Nat 28. 1 second. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
You wanna know how badly I did? That's a 1 with -5.
Oh my god.
That was great weapon mastering it.
Oh my
-4
god.
to hit.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
your
But
great axe just
yeah,
lands straight at Nildor's chest
if if
and
if
just
we
stops there
if we
and
are
makes like
playing
a
by
gong sound. Tum.
if you're playing
See,
by civilization rules, that means you get nuked right now.
I swear, like, I honestly, at such a bad roll, what would really happen, Akim, is like, when Habibi throws this at Nelda, you see immediately, like, Nelda is standing there, has like smirk on his elven features, okay? And as soon as this weapon starts to come closer to him, you see as like another wave leaps from across the sea and just slam dunks your weapon onto the floor, the ship.
Once the weapon leaves my hand, my eyes like the red immediately like vapors out, and I see like Nelda, and I'm like, I'm, I'm sorry, I didn't. The fuck? I sorry, chromatic dragon man.
Okay, formalities aside, one of us
Roll.
needs to go talk to our friend. Dada.
G, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Wait.
You're still in combat.
Uh. Oh, because of the captain.
Yeah.
I will go leap off the boat and then dive bomb into him in the water.
Okay, really? Go
Yes.
for it.
Wee!
What's wrong with these people?
What do you want me to roll for this?
You still have 3 attacks, no?
Yeah,
He's
I don't.
going to use all 3 attacks to dive bomb the captain.
No, like
Athletics, I guess. I'd say, is it a disadvantage on your? Oh, give me an athletics.
yeah.
If you get above a 15, you get a straight roll on your
Athletics or
attack.
acrobatics?
Acrobatics, go for it. So
Alright.
if you get above a 15, then you have a straight roll on your attack. Otherwise, you're at disadvantage. Okay.
All right. Yeesh. I don't think that's going to make 15. Acrobatics. No, that's a 10.
It's a 10. Okay. You have a disadvantage on your attack, but go for it. Like,
Okay, first
slam
attack.
into-
First attack is what is 7? 14 to hit.
14. Okay. It does not hit.
Okay. Nat 20.
Awesome.
12. No, it's disadvantage, right? But that's still a 19 to hit.
A 19 hits.
That is 16 to hit.
A 16.
Yes.
16 does not hit.
16
Oh, wait,
doesn't.
wait.
Yeah,
It-
so
it-
17 itself didn't hit.
It hits. No, I mean, he used his reaction earlier, no? It hits. It hits. He used his reaction against Nelda.
Is
See
this
what
another?
is
Is this the
happening.
same round or is the?
Yeah, it's still the
same
same round. It's the second round. This is a quick combat.
Holy shit! So much has happened in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 23 points of damage total.
23, amazing. So you notice that, like, you find
As
it quite
as
hard.
as I jumped there and I'm just hitting him, and I look back up the shit, I'm like, shit, that's 15 feet. I didn't need to get into the water.
But tell me how you destroy this metallic captain.
Oh, so basically, even before I like make contact with the water, I'm just like waving it in the air, and it's just like one shot pummel, two second shot miss, and the third shot just pummel that the tendril goes through his face, and then my body just like falls onto him, and just like both of us are crippling in the water.
Are we out of combat?
So essentially, what is happening is right now, okay, Koi, as you take a final strike against the mechanical pirate, the shine of gold is the last thing you see as a huge crack of the ship breaking behind you lurches your companions into the same cold, dark abyss of the sea around you. You see as the storm seems to erupt almost suddenly out of nowhere, as if almost charmed by a presence, it seems. But you notice on the side Daria, who's standing on top with that little bag, effortlessly and with the confidence of a fish, of a, with the
Of a fish
confidence
in
of a.
water. Of a fish
Yeah,
in
I
water.
was fucking gonna say I'm a fish in water, and then I was like, damn it. Okay,
Just go.
I'm
Go for the
tired.
bad puns.
But okay, like so, with the confidence of like a great white shark, almost just leaps into this water, almost like attacking a prey. And as Daria joins you in the sea, and you notice as Neldor and Habibi are knocked off as well, you hear the loud crunching noises of the sea just breaking. And even though you can't see what could have caused this and what could have gotten it to suddenly break away like this, you hear something that you hadn't heard before, screams of multiple people drowning. As you feel the weight of the water overcome you, all three of you feel yourself struggle against these roaring waves, struggle against the foam that's filling in your lungs. You find it hard to breathe, you find it hard to escape. You, especially, Habibi, feel like you're almost passing out from the trauma of being here. And as this happens and you fall into this state of unconsciousness, I'd like all of you to think about one thing that you might be dreaming of while you're in this state. And while we do that, let's take a 10-minute break and get back.
Okay. Short rest time. Alright, alright.
Anyone go first?
We're taking an actual break.
Hello, everyone, and we are back. Last, our adventurers were on the ship of a warforged captain who seemed quite insistent on taking away the package that the companion that they're traveling with seems to have in their hold. Upon commencing into a battle after they tried to investigate the lower docks, they managed to take in quite few quick seconds all of the pirates on board and push the captain cook off board as well, taking him to the plank, as they'd say. And at this moment, when Quay jumped into the sea to place the final blow on this metallic pirate, a sudden storm overtook the sea, putting the whole crew in a bit of a predicament as these waves crashed and broke the ship they were on into various parts. In a passing glance, all of you saw as your Triton companion, Daria, jumps off board, taking a very well practiced dive into these raging waters. As you all fall underneath these waves, the last thing you hear before a sort of unconsciousness overtakes you are the sounds of the ship breaking, a long, wailing yawn almost, mingled in with what felt like speckled screams of people drowning. Underwater, as you look to your side, you see the bodies that these voices belong to as what seem to be like commoners and peasants, chained and bound, unable to free themselves, start crashing about underwater with you.
Ew, that's
Habibi,
what.
you see this happen as you close your eyes and this panic turns to calm. What is it that you dream about?
Habibi dreams about Chult. He sees like this island that's right in the middle, uh, with like it's not just blue water; it's like proper blue crystal. And he sees his father, he sees his mother, and he sees all of his brothers. Uh, and the Habibi clan is like very strong in Chult. And he sees that there is this like tiny little farmland there where they grow all sorts of uh, fruits. And the last thing I remember as I'm holding on to this large like watermelon, and like I'm slowly taking a bite, and like I'm feeling the juices like enter my mouth. But as like the juices like slowly enter into my mouth, I feel like it slowly start to fill my lungs, and it's like slowly like just crushing into my body, and I feel like I'm being drowned again. And I see my family like far away into the inland while I'm like slowly drifting away from Chult.
Okay.
And like every time like I lose breath and I come out of the and like I see blackness, I go back to Chult again. And it's just that
And
that dream just keeps happening over and over and over again.
and as you walk away from your homeland, these moments of darkness that overtake you, these moments of uncertainty, are quickly replaced by bursts of confidence, this sort of warmth almost that at the end of this journey is something that you're looking for and that you will find it. And with this sense of calm, you give in almost and let yourself find the sense of peace and hope against hope that you wake up again and one day you can go home and sit with your brothers, your father and mother, and tell them stories of how you survived the sea. And as you fall into this, kneel down, while you're standing on top of the ship, you're looking around you, and you barely notice as Koi jumps past you to jump into the sea after the captain. What you're looking at instead are the raging waves. Now, you've always felt a strong connection to the sea, and even though you can't say that you have a very strong proficiency with swimming in it, you do find a sense of calmness, and even in its rage, you try to seek an understanding because for you, the sea isn't just a body of water, it's the temperament of the one you serve. It's what Lady Dara wants. It molds itself to her whims. And as you look at it, you try to ask her almost, you know, what is it that you're doing? Like, the war on board is almost over, but you're raging one around us instead. Like, is this a quest? Is this a task for me? Is this another way for me to prove myself? You Instead of looking at the captain sinking overboard, you look back at the strange Triton figure, one that you would think would be most suited for the service that your lady would require. You look at them and they are perfectly formed to be a part of the sea. They're perfect in every way that you never thought you wished you'd be. You always felt quite admirable in your position and your abilities, and yet this one here has more attunement with the sea than you ever will have. And looking at Daria too, there's the sense that the Triton has that as they look past into these waves and speak a message out to it, they stop for a second and look back at you. And there's this annoying smirk that just peeks at their lips in a way that I'm the teacher's pet and you're not sort of way. You recognize this kinship in the way that both of you follow the same oath and the same deity and watch as the Triton leaps confidently into the water as if to tell you, how could you ever doubt? And as they fall under these waves, you feel almost like Dara's comfort reaching out to you as if to say that you will be safe. And at the end of this, you would have fulfilled a deep desire of mine. And as you allow yourself to fall with the ship breaking underneath you, what is it that you dream of as you go underwater?
As I am falling freely, probably heavier than everyone else with all the armor, probably faster than them. Um, it's almost like I am looking at myself from a third person point of view, and I get closer and closer to the image of me falling until it's just my face. And as uh, it begins to zoom out once again, um, I am not wearing my armor. I'm only wearing a green robe that I wore during my trials as the the heir to South Brick. Mm. Uh, It is the moment where I was trapped in a water bubble. And that was the first time when Lady Dara actually spoke to me. And I asked her who she was, and she answered, I am the sea, and you are my savior. As those words ring into my ears again and again. Um, it is just it is just that moment playing on repeat. It is just me stuck in that bubble, trying to struggle, and uh, it's the comfort of knowing that um, I will be something. I will. um, be the savior I always have dreamt to be. Um, and almost subconsciously, um, shape water sort of comes into play once again and casts itself uh, not through me, but through uh, my will almost, and makes an air bubble around my head so I can breathe a little more easily. And these words, "You will be my savior," keep ringing back in my ear. Um, you must find it, uh, and you must find it, be my savior. These words just keep ringing in my ear as, yeah, that's like that's what's going to happen before I wake up.
So as like you feel yourself submerge under water, and you by habit, um, you take a deep intake of breath and fall under the sea, and you know how long this will last you, and instead you choose to calm yourself, focus. You look over at the people on your side, and duty takes you to want to save them, but something else holds you instead. It holds you back almost. And as this memory forms in your head and you feel yourself trapped in a bubble, your body instead is enveloped with the small helmet like bubble that's instead keeping you safe, not suffocating you like you dream of. And in some way, you know that even though you can't awake again and look around to see what's happening around you, you know that you're safe, you know that you're protected, and you know that it'll be another day to save. Lastly, Clay, having expertly taken down so many of these pirates, you run forward, almost overtaken by this lust, not bloodlust, but this lust to succeed, to just strike your blade true, to feel the results of all your training, of all your expertise come to hand as you strike once again and again, and it's true each time. And as you leap into the sea, it's almost like you know in your head that the first one will not take. You know that it does not need to take so that the second will strike. You leap in, and as you break down this mechanical being, feeling like you have succeeded once again, your mind is ever sharp. Your mind is constantly thinking about what's happening around. You think about the food on deck, you wonder what it means. You think about what you couldn't see underneath, and you wonder what it means. And as you hear the sound of the ship breaking behind, you think of the captain as you look into his eyes and see that even at this moment of death, he's not looking at you, he's looking past you. He's looking at the Triton that you're supposed to be guarding. But is he even looking at them or looking at what they're holding? And you wonder, what is it that they so desperately want to steal? What is it that this Triton's holding? And as the ship breaks, another question rises to your head like, why am I caught in such an unnatural event such as this? Why would all this happen at once when we were just succeeding? Like, how unlucky can you actually get? Like, is there another purpose to this mission that we're having? Are there more after us? Is there a greater, grander scheme to all this that we don't know about? And as the water takes your lungs and you fight against this, the strain of thought, the strain of wanting to, more than even just wanting to be alive, the wanting the want to have an answer to questions that you have in your head. What is it that you dream of?
You're muted.
As all of this is happening and I'm losing consciousness, I'm taken back to a good fond memory, a nice spot of just in like the middle of a huge ass bar, like which has a fighting ring in the middle, and then I'm just sitting there having a drink in the VIP area, and the tournament is running to an end. There is a person who is ready to face a challenge. There's a challenger who is ready to prove his might and skill, and I'm sitting there and watching. And then someone comes up to my ear and is like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I get up and I leave vault off the railing down onto the pit. And this huge, brawly half-orc guy with like full plate mail and like a great axe and all the shield and all of that charge, and then the bell rings, charges at me, and I just know exactly how to get underneath his plate and then pluck a pressure point, stun him, and then I go and then I hit him in the face, hit him in the chest, and then third hit I stun him again and I hit him again on the leg, sweep his leg, make him prone, and then hit him on his thigh, stunning him in the nerve, and then I keep going on and on and on before he can even move until he's knocked out. And crowd goes wild, and I get monies, roses thrown at me, some random underwear. It's all great, and yeah, my dream ends.
This was a dream for your character, not you.
And no, this is a dream for my character only. My dreams are way more. It's not like we can't get copyright stricken on YouTube. I mean, not copyright stricken, like
Age restrictions and
age restricted
whatnot.
on YouTube. Yeah. So my dreams
Yeah,
are
yeah,
not here.
makes
It's fine.
sense.
So, as Corey, as you stand at the stadium in victory, the laurels of praise being thrown and yelled around you, and you feel the soft velvetiness of delicates falling softly onto your face, and the last wisp of your subconsciousness leaves you. All of you feel this comforting warmth overtakes that chill. You open your eyes, and peculiar beings are looking down at you. Now, the Titan themselves is quite a peculiar creature. You've never seen one such as themselves. But these, somewhat similar in nature, in the most oddest ways, but yet so different. They look at you, their mouths all agape. You feel your limbs are covered in this fine white powdery sand, and the smell of salt is heavy in the air. The ground beneath you feels a little unsteady, unstable, but for now, you're all safe. Looking over to the side, you see that Daria is already standing up, taking into account of the surroundings. They don't say much to you, but these strange folk, islanders, look down at you again, all of them standing in this smallish group, whispering these soundless noise.
Wow.
Jeevan has ordered cold coffee.
I'm gonna do
I'm
okay.
so
Huh.
sorry.
Where
It's
to
I
okay.
cut
thought I
that?
muted it when I left.
It's okay. This happens on our streams also.
Yes. Please continue. I'm here.
Can I just add, um, before everyone wakes up, Nelda's vision drifts from um, his past to something else. And what he sees is three creatures in front of him. One, uh, an elven sort of creature, um, in black, in all black, and seems to be between the states of life and death for some reason. One bipedal hippopotamus humanoid, and one smaller a pterodactyl dinosaur folk sort of a creature. And next to him, he sees a goblin, and then waves wash over everything, and all of this converts into what he's seeing currently in front of him.
That's so
Foreshadowing.
good.
Mm.
New campaign
Foreshadowing.
foreshadowing. New campaign
Who's
foreshadowing.
the goblin? Jeevan, you've been on mute the whole time, by the way.
I was just saying
Okay,
foreshadowing.
cool.
I just saying foreshadowing over and over again.
Still on mute.
Wait,
How is
what?
that happening? What?
No.
Still on mute.
Is he
Are you guys
fucking with me?
fucking with me? I hate you all.
He's still on mute.
I can see my green light happening on Discord. Screw you all.
Is your earphones connected to your phone by any chance?
Wait, I can see the green light. The Discord is
Oh,
going
then how
green
can you
light.
hear us? That makes sense then. But we can't hear you, Vijay.
This.
Even I'm confused now. What's happening?
And
I
how
will.
can you hear him?
Can you guys hear him?
So my
Yeah,
thoughts
we
about
can
Shema.
Yeah.
I
Total
can't hear
hack.
him.
Wow.
Total fake job. My thoughts about
Hey,
Kush. Guy, I always thought he needs to get laid, but even after he gets laid, he's still insufferable. My thoughts about Akib.
Oh my god. I just realized that G was making so much noise earlier that I muted him. I didn't realize that. I just muted him.
Oh my
wow.
god!
Wow.
And he was
Wow.
walking around. I forgot. And it was just like mute my mic
Wow.
muted.
TPK gossip channel.
My thoughts about Akib.
Oh, now tell. You have thoughts about me. I'd like to know.
His jokes are fine.
Oh, ouch.
Show
Along
happening
with
on January 5th. Come. I'm kidding. Okay.
Should we? I
so
think we should just leave this in. Okay, continue.
so as you all awaken and you find yourself in this position, what would you like to do? You can give me general perception or insight checks if you want to get an understanding of your surroundings or any other skill check if there's something in particular you want to do. But right now what you see is Daria standing a little away. He doesn't like they don't seem to be affected at all by what these strange people are doing. They're just standing by themselves, looking around this place you seem to have all showed at.
That's a 22 on my.
Amazing. Okay. And okay, cool. So Habibi, as you're looking around, okay, your panic immediately comes you and you wake up with a jolt almost. And especially as your eyes start to readjust itself to your surroundings and you see these silhouettes in front of you, your first immediate thought is that you're back home, you're back with your family, and you immediately become more alert, expecting to see them, but as your vision comes into focus, you realize instead there are some really strange people, and they're odd in such a ways that a couple of their features seem to be distorted. So you see that you have a couple of men standing there, quite longish. Their skin seems to be tough with a more like colorless hue. They have sharp teeth and they look at you in this sort of angry stare almost. You look to the other side and there seems to be people more roundish, their hair standing out in extreme spikes. They look anxious as they walk, quite jittery almost. You watch at the back and you hear the sounds of children playing, and you watch multiple children run around, their eyes bulging out of their skulls in an odd fashion. Their hair all seems to be of a different color, taking on vibrant hues. And you watch in fascination as they cheer and run around, looking at you, whispering and laughing, and going around what seems to be a lot of seaweed and coral and the odd unhealthy tree around you. You also notice other people, and in the distance, what seems to be this sort of habitat of sorts, and seems to be this crude uh, foundation, homestead of um, flora that's been put together to build structures that you assume to be shelter. Everywhere around you, there seems to be things that are covered with the odd seashell or seaweed and coral that seems to be littered quite a bit around. The ground itself is covered with this soft white sand, and you have never seen a place like this before.
The children notice me though, you said?
Yeah, the children notice you. And this is odd for you because you're not a man that thinks. But, and but there's something that you feel is quite empathetic to like how you feel when you see these people. You feel like you resonate with them in a way that you don't do with Daria, even though they could be more like these strange islanders, maybe. And it's odd because you look at them and there's something about it. I don't know what. It's just this presence that makes you feel like akin to them.
Uh, I check my shell inside my shell. Usually I have like a couple of toffees.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can dig one out and see like if it's still like edible of sorts.
Okay. Oh, I
I
love it.
I like unwrap it and like there's like it's salt water toffee. So I look at the kid and like I say in this one like in common. I'm uh, it's almost like I want to like join them and have fun. So I'm like,
Got
so
it, got it.
would you like a toffee?
So you take a few steps forward, okay, and your clothes feel heavy on you, still, like weighing you down with salt water. But you move towards this group of children, and as soon as you do, they all scream and scatter away, running away. And as they do, there's like this one boy who's left again, like his skinny little knobby knees are just shaking, and he's just like looking at you, and you offer this chocolate. He shakily reaches out, and all his movements seem a lot more pronounced because his eyes seem to be like half the size of his head almost. Okay, they're just like really sticking out. And as he takes this chocolate, he like eats it, and you see as this wide smile breaks on his face as he just like grins at you and very excitedly goes and like he laughs with the kids, and then they point at you and you look at his like the kids, they all like look at the wrapper in his hand, look at him, and in unison look at you and start running.
I start going shit. I start running back towards these guys, Neldor and this one. But like I trip over. Uh, some of the chocolates like come out of my shell. They're on the floor.
Oh my god, amazing. Yeah, you see, as all these kids, they just like gather around, almost like, when animals or birds and all these things do, when you just like throw food somewhere and then just gather around and start like fighting for it. And it's exactly what these kids do, and they're like literally taking on like a shell like form, or they're surrounding this chocolate. And the last thing you see before somebody else wakes up is you look over to Q, sorry, to Koi, and you see this lump form in the front of their pants, slightly off to the side,
What
and a lump.
form in the front of there? Huh? Okay.
Okay.
Out to the side. And then you
Safety
see
tool.
as you it seems to like move about a little bit. And then you see as something thick, a pink like nose out of his pocket.
Wait, out of my pocket or someone else? And
Yeah, okay.
I uh, I make sure the kids are not fighting too much, but then I slowly walk up to my
I'm
friend.
gonna, I'm conscious of that happening, right? I'm gonna try to
Right.
grab it and pull it out of my pocket.
So I'd say that you'd know what it is. But for a second, it catches you off guard. But as you reach your hand in and pull something out, you find like a very wet mouse in your hand. It's your little
Oh
pet
no, my
mouse.
mouse! Ah no! Step! No! Mousy!
I'm standing over him and saying, "Is that your pet mouse, or are you just happy to see me?"
I will fucking cut you!
Hema loves drowning pets in pockets for
Yeah,
some reason.
yeah, yeah. He's always aware of pets. Always.
I just remembered
Pocket.
that he like the thing Jeevan had. Like I was looking at his inventory, and I didn't even see the weapons or items. Anything. At the end, it was written "pet mouse," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
I keep forgetting that thing comes with the urchin background. I always forget the damn fucking rat.
Take my hand out and I'm like, uh, these 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 kids over here, you seem friendly. As I like straighten them up.
I need to bury my mouse.
Mhm.
The mouse is dead.
Still alive.
Mouse can't breathe underwater, god damn it. I will go find some side plot or some sand to bury my mouse under.
It's just still alive. It's being slowly buried.
We are alone.
Wait, is it alive?
I mean, I was going to let it live, but if you want to be realistic about
I
it,
mean, you said that we have like a bubble over our heads, right? With the
No,
air.
that was just me.
no, that was just Nanda.
Oh, what about the rest of us? How are we breathing?
You don't know. You're
Mm.
asleep
Oh,
through it.
Mousy, you're alive. I thought you died. There, there. Here. Yes. There, and I will put him back in my pocket. I am happy to see you. I'm so, so happy to see you.
So, yeah, but Nanda, sorry, what are you doing?
I wake up sort of frantically, sort of almost in a frenzy, uh, And then I realized, wait, these are the people I was just with. What was that vision? That was not from the past. Must be from the future then. Um,
Foreshadowing.
but, but then I look at these guys standing on the bed of the ocean, I'm assuming.
No, it's more kind of like it's a landmass.
It's a what?
It's a landmass.
Landmass, but underwater.
No, no, no. It's above water.
Oh,
Okay, okay, cool. Right, okay. Okay, so the silver thing on our skin is sand.
Yeah, it's sand.
Okay. Um, yeah, I see. I get up and off my boat. I'm going to say it, guys. And I like empty it out with sand. It's like, oh, I hate sand. Gets everywhere.
I quit this. I quit TPK, guys.
Why is
I'm
this so
out.
bad?
Please.
What is
your
happening?
delivery was better. Your delivery was way better than in a movie. Okay, you need a more blank face to pull that off.
Oh my god.
I'm just excited to say it, guys. I'm sorry. And yeah, I walk towards others, and I'm guessing I see Habibi like flat on the
On
floor
the high
with
ground.
candies
On the
everywhere.
high ground.
Candies
I'm
everywhere.
not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not accepting these references. Okay. But if Nelda's up, I'm like, um, chromatic dragon. Where are we?
Layer of chromatic dragon.
Where is
Layer
Dara?
of yeah. Yeah.
Where
Where
is
is
what?
Dara?
Where is Dara? Well, she is the oceans.
Fuck you, not your girlfriend. Uh,
Daria.
Daria.
You idiot.
Daria is standing very close to where all of you are. They're not really doing anything. They're just kind of like looking over at what you assume to be this island. They don't seem to be affected at all by these strange people. But yes, they're standing there. They're still clutching at the thing, the package that they've been holding constantly.
I'm assuming we have to thank you for still being alive.
Or she's the reason for all of this.
Oh, she's 100% the reason that the boat sank.
She?
I'm sorry.
Dara is she.
She or he?
They're,
I'm sorry.
they're they.
They.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
apologize.
just heard
Okay.
they.
They.
They are 100% the fucking reason why the boat sank, but they spared us. So I'm willing to listen. What happened? It was supposed to be a simple escort mission. We're just supposed to protect you. What went wrong?
Well, if any great tale were to be written or to be spoken for eons to pass, of course challenges would present themselves. Of course difficulties would be required to be overcome. This is nothing short of what any warrior would find it in their duty to follow. Do not fret about this. This is mere a slight hindrance in our way. We must continue on. If we feel exhausted, I shall permit spending a night to rest here, if we can spend it on here. And they just like look around and just kind of still looking a questioning way at the folk there, but looks at you and says like, I suggest taking some rest. I will inquire as to whether we can get off this island, whether there's a way that we can find some sort of transport maybe to the kingdom. But until then, make yourself useful and find something to warm us with.
I'm sorry, something to what with?
Warm us.
Um, Before that, what is in the box? And I
It's a
think
mere
to risk my
delicacy.
life. No, that's people are not gonna try and kill other people for a delicacy.
It is just the treasure of the seas. That is all.
Well, as the savior of the seas, I
And as
believe.
someone who nearly died in the seas trying to protect it,
I'm going to go find warm things for us to wear.
and as someone who's helping us find warm things while we wait, I think we deserve to know.
Yeah, I think I deserve to know what exactly am I the savior of.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, one of
Ah,
you.
thanks. I will let third. I will let Kush go for
The
this.
face.
The face
Okay,
of TPK.
22.
You do, awesome.
See, we call him the
Now,
face of TPK and he's doing all this and all.
so
You-
and as Habibi starts walking away, the crowd still keeps an eye on all of you, and Daria takes like a quick glance around and indicates forward, more into the thicket of what this landmass would be, as it is say, let's find a quiet corner for this. They lead you in, and you follow a few steps away from Habibi, who forages ahead. And Daria starts talk. They speak about this ancient artifact, one that helped through the passage of time, that helped them in their journey from the plane of water to the material plane. They talk about how they have been warriors of a foregone age, how nothing has ever stopped them, that they still continue to train, that they still await a greater disaster coming forward. And as Jerry says this, they clutch this item closer and says, I fear you might not understand if I tell you right now what this really means, what the treasure of the sea means to our people, means to me, and why we've all vowed to protect it. But know that if I do not return to my kingdom with this, if I do not return to Kairi with this treasure, we are all doomed. And our fledgling kingdom, a mere million years old, nothing much more.
Fletchling, okay.
Yeah, their idea of time is quite different.
Clearly.
Um,
We could lose it all. I find it beneath me to beg. I will not plead, but instead I'd like to offer my thoughts on this, and I'd like to say, duty bound as I feel, it would be yours as well. It's so underwater. It would be yours as well. Yeah. Assist this and know that you would be true champion warriors at the end of this if you are to help see this mission succeed.
I would like to make an insight check to check if there is honesty in what he's saying,
Okay,
and nothing more.
go ahead.
So
16.
16. So, now though you hear what Daria is saying, and you understand a lot of the same sentiment. You understand where their feelings are coming from. You understand why they feel like trying to do this. Oh God, Jesus! Like mute yourself. Mute yourself, you monster. So, getting back onto the train. Okay, so as you feel this similar sentiment and think of what duty means, what honor means to you, you do have an idea that maybe they're not being entirely truthful.
Oh,
A lot of what they're saying is positive. It does seem like they are being quite honest in their intentions, and you have an idea that more than this thing being a blatant lie, like them exhibiting mistrust, it's more of like they are unable to say what exactly it is, but instead want to offer you some sort of comfort in knowing that this is a mission more than anything else. And they are trying to play to your sentiments, but they aren't trying to lead you to any sort of harm. Their intentions are still good.
my friend, as
uh, uh, uh,
you do not
one moment,
need.
Eldor. One moment, Eldor. So Daria, I mean, what I'm hearing is, you and your amazing civilization, and for all your advancements, and for everything that you're capable, you need us to get the job done, right?
Mhm.
There we
Gradually
go.
so.
Please continue, Nandor. And then I will fold my hands up and I will stand a little, like 2 inches taller, and just stand there.
Amazing.
My friend, you do not need to play. If this is something that needs to be done, then you have my sword. But at the end of the line, you will give us the whole truth.
That's why, like the tales of the voyage of the plains when we came from our home here. Trust me, this mission that you are undertaking with me right now will be one that will be told for another million.
And at that, I give him my hand.
They take it and they nod at you and salute. At this point, you've walked quite a bit into the weird, like forest-like area, like just terrain area around. Are any of you looking for anything in particular? Any signs of where you are? Is there anything that you'd like to do? Alkib, you can give me an investigation or a survival check.
Do a survival.
Okay.
Wow. My first natural 20 is in this.
Amazing.
We actually need that information.
Amazing. This is
We might need
fantastic.
this the most.
Hmm. This is amazing. Okay, so like while the other two are talking to Arya, you're just like going up ahead, trying to understand where you are, to get like lay of the land, see if this is another ship that will suddenly break under you and you'll be plunged into water again. You're slightly paranoid right now. You want to figure out where you are. And as you're taking like a note of your surroundings, there's a lot of things you notice. Now, you're walking up ahead, and it's about say half an hour to 45 minutes that you have journeyed forward. The first thing you notice as you walk around is that The ground seems to have a weird sort of rise and fall of terrain. It doesn't feel like the jutting of the rocks, really. It just feels like, and you don't know why, but it feels like a certain smoothness to the way that you feel this rise and fall. You notice that though there seems to be a lot of sea-like vegetation around, there doesn't seem to be any other creatures apart from the occasional bird that seems to fly overhead and settle. The most surprising, though, has been at one point, about half an hour within you walking this way, a sudden sprout of water suddenly rises over what seems to be the front of the island and falls over all of you, showering you with a spray of salt water. It happens suddenly and not again. While this is happening, give me a d6 roll.
There are trees around us.
Actually, at that question, give me a d6 roll as well. Because you can too if you want.
Ah, my dice.
Mine's a 4.
Or okay.
Also,
Mine's a 1.
the minute the water hits me, there is a blood curdling scream.
6.
6, awesome. So what happens is like Nelda, you're stuck in this moment of purity with like what you acknowledge now as a fellow paladin with you. And Delia walks by your side and you discuss faith among other things. And nothing seems to hinder your way. But Koi, as you walk forward, you're listening on to this conversation, trying to note as many details as you can to take back to your guild. You suddenly feel a tripping sensation as something catches at your leg. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
The fuck? It's a lot. It's uh, it's 23.
23, amazing. You catch yourself and you look down to see that what you had walked into seemed to be like a tangled mess of kelp. You look around and you notice that there's not really much vegetation as such. Notice there's like moss and coral and seaweed and seashells and this weird like sandiness to certain parts of things. But apart from that, nothing else really. You don't see tall trees, nothing of that sort.
Okay,
I
what
look
do I?
back at
Oh
them.
yeah, actually. And Akib, can you give me a constitution save?
And 16.
Awesome. So you
I'm
feel
so sorry. That's wrong. My bad, my bad.
no, it's okay. 16 saves. It's all right.
It's a 10 plus 5.
Oh,
I read the wrong die. It's the first die that I was supposed to look at.
okay. Never mind. It's all
It's
right.
okay.
So, like you do, as you walk in, you're looking around and walking into different places, trying to find some food or some wood to burn. You come across this bit of coal that it turns your fingers into a slightly abnormal color for a second, but your natural prowess itself overtakes, and you feel as this poison starts to exit your body, and you feel fine for a second. But in this 1 second of delusion, you suddenly feel like someone's been following you or watching you at least.
The paranoia was there when, like, for that split second, or is it there now?
It was there for a split second, but it's carried on.
I pull out my like great axe. I look towards Neldor and I look towards Kwe. Kwe, since I've been with him, I say like in a low tone, somebody's following. And I'll like basically try to do a formation which we generally do. It's like uh,
Back to back.
back to back.
Blade versus fist.
Wah! And like
Yeah.
the sun like slowly starts setting.
Everybody is kung fu fighting.
Right. Ta-na-na-na-na.
Okay. Uh,
Sorry.
can I try to look around? See, when that single wave crashed and went back, I'm assuming something big washed ashore. So I want to like look around to see if I spot anything of that nature or if anyone is following us.
So the water felt more like, I'd say more kind of like a geyser
Okay.
than a splash from the sea.
Oh, okay.
In the way that it kind of fell on all of you, so you do have a sense that the direction seemed to be a little more upwards and down
Wait,
on you.
I'm just gonna look straight up at the sky. Are we fucking moving?
With your passive, I'd say that you do feel it.
Oh
Ah!
no! It's not a fucking. Oh shit!
I look at the
Nice.
both of them. I'm like, guys,
Yeah,
guys, we are
yeah.
moving. We are on top of something that is moving.
Oh no! I knew it. When I thought the land wasn't moving with me, but it like sort of. Oh no!
I look at the
Abhi?
area, like tilt my head, like what's going on.
Okay? You're looking around, and with this alertness, this sense that you might be standing on something living, you notice that there's a slight rise and fall to the ground that you're standing on. You notice that there's more of a smoothness to this land itself. You also notice that
Billions
a
of
lot
blue blistering barnacles. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
where you find yourself on what you assume to be something like this.
Map change.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck off!
Okay.
That's a whale.
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
fantasy way.
Yep. Where exactly are we right now? On like with regards to map, would we know?
You are, and I will scale you down to size.
You'll scale us down to size. Got it.
Damn, this is a really small.
No.
Oh
You
god.
see the top right fin, where the fin is
Yeah,
joining the body. That is a
yeah.
fucking boat, dude. I don't even think this will
That
allow you to scale
okay.
down to that size. You can't go smaller. Like my current token size is the size of a tree, essentially, not a tree, like a big bush.
Yeah, but
Because
essentially you're here somewhere.
this is a boat.
Is that a boat or a ship?
It's a ship. It's not a boat. Sorry, it's a ship.
Shema?
Oh, it's a ship, sorry.
Oh, damn.
This is freaking huge.
Okay. Did you make this?
Yeah, I made it for Maptober.
This looks mad.
Crazy.
I
Amazing.
made this. I always wanted to make this adventure, like this map, ever since I wrote this adventure, and then finally I did it, and it was a lot of fun.
This looks mad.
So you find yourself there, up like looking around. I'd say, Koi, you do notice that there's a bit of presence behind some of the larger coral structures off to the like clusters off to the side.
Is there any movement through it?
There is a bit of like awkward movement that you see, and you see something small behind it.
I will approach the nearest one slowly. I don't want to seem like a threat, but I'm also on high alert myself. Can I get a better look at what this is?
Yes, you go forward in a slightly nonchalant manner, trying not to bring any alertness to yourself, and immediately at the last second leap over this cluster to confront whatever might be standing there. You immediately find yourself in front of a small guppy boy staring at you, terrified, and just like clutching their hands together.
Is the same as the ones that this
Yes,
Habibi gives candy to.
it's the same one that we had given candy to initially.
I look around. Is this some sort of like a breeding ground or like a birthing ground or something of that sort?
um, no, sorry.
I'm sorry. When you were like, this thing is behind this and it jumps up in front of you, I'm like, face hugger.
No, you jump behind it to scare it. Okay, anyway, so it just seems to like, when you say something to it, it immediately like gets up and like scraps off to like where Habibi is and like looks at him excitedly for a second before standing behind him as if to be in this like protect me from the evil man sort of manner.
And like I look at Quinn and I'm like, you need to learn how to talk to children better.
You need to stop giving candy to strangers' children.
Shut up. uh, I see if there's any candy left, but there's no candy left because all of it fell into the
Mhm.
floor. And like in common, I tell the guppy, I'm really sorry, but I don't have any food. Where's your family?
And it just looks at you blankly. And I'd like you to roll a 1d100, please.
The kid pulled out a shank.
Kid is actually helped,
Yeah.
and the world gets destroyed.
Oh my. Throwbacks. Throwbacks.
uh, that is a wow, 77.
77.
1D100, right?
Uh, yes.
What happens in a 77? He pulls out a shank. And he's so sad if he pulls out a shank because I'll have to kill it. What happened? Does it pull out a shank?
Third Sun Ring. Third Sun Ring. Tell us. We know it's fine.
It's 100 numbers. And as you look at this little fluffy boy, he reaches to his back, looks at you excitedly, and almost the size of like his body itself, he pulls out something that looks almost not a shank, much longer. A spear. Okay.
Where did you hide the spear?
And hands it to you. But you notice there's something really odd about this. It's not a spear. It looks more natural. It looks like it belonged to something that was living at some point. But you see, it's a long black stick with a pointy end.
Okay, she said pointy end, not a bulbous end. We're clear.
I look at the little guppy and I'm like, two things. One, thank you. Second, how did you hide this? I must know.
The guppy kid gets really excited and nods and looks at you and nods again and then runs away.
You should have asked where he got it.
I should have asked where he got it.
You should have asked
Uh,
who he got it from.
You should have asked why
Wait,
he got it.
I take
You
my
should
great
have
axe.
asked how he got it.
I'm like, shut. You
Okay.
both of you shut up, otherwise I'm gonna test the spear
Okay.
out on you. Actually, I look at Neldor and I'm like, could I?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
And I stand chest inflated.
I take out the spear, test its weight, and then like a jousting knight, I go straight ahead and like try to hit his breastplate.
Is it him?
Wait, I'm gonna roll it to
That one.
18. 18. Not that great. 18 plus 6. I'm not
Oh, that's
ranging.
Vista.
Yeah.
Oh, then it
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Oh
then
my
yeah.
god, there's no waves to protect you here, Naldor.
A 24 hits you?
Four hits, yeah. I don't want to use my single use of shield on this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm hoping this is a normal spear.
It's not a curse spear that
Yeah,
traps my
if it's a
spell.
cursed spear, you're screwed. What is a spear?
I know how that feels like.
It'll be like I mean, I don't know what a spear is. 5.
Damage is d6 for a spear.
Oh, D6, yeah.
But you would use your dex, not your strength.
Oh, then that's shit,
Either
dude.
way, damage dice is d6.
Oh, I thought it was a strength. If it's
No,
not a strength,
spear is
yeah,
versatile.
yeah. That's a that's a 19 then, not a.
Okay, also you guys are taking like you would get the benefits of a long rest before all this happens.
Ah!
Like that. Okay, and apart from that,
So it's just a normal. It's just a normal spear.
no, so like you see as Daria, okay, like walks past you and seeing this display in front goes, it says, like this is pretty to see that a magnificent beast could be reduced as an item of mockery, and they walk ahead.
Are you talking about your ex or so? Like what? What is it? This what?
My whole ex is not a whale, okay, and
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
that burn landed way better than you could hope.
My ex is not a whale. Oh, this is a whale. Oh, get it now. And
Well,
then like I turn it around and like I put it back and I'm like I hold my great axe again. I'm like, anyone wants a spear?
The little
Actually, I I could use a spear. Yeah. Give.
Take it and I throw it at him.
Yes.
Oh
throw it.
shit.
He has deflect missiles, it's okay.
Yeah, here's the practice. Will be fine.
just use up those key points.
I'm not using up
So
my key punches.
this thing, Habibi, as
Mhm.
you're standing over there and you toss the spear, you feel like a tug at your robes, and you look down, and the guppy boy is holding something else at you. Roll me another D100.
What in God's name is happening?
She is just like I have a new table, new shiny table, must
Also,
Uh,
use.
61.
listen,
Uh,
61.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, this table is from Voyage to Ambershan Island. Uh,
Yeah.
it's how you say it. Right. But you should check out Kaniknath's first adventure, and you will find this drinking table on that. Now,
You'll also find our playtest of their adventure somewhere in the bio.
the episode before this one, guys. The episode before this one.
This is the bio.
No, no, that was the first one shot we did.
Okay, this is where
Oh
the
yes. Shit.
quick
Somewhere.
make this appear here.
I
Yeah.
can't.
okay.
That's not how it works. Sakit.
Then, Habibi, this little boy comes, has something in his hand, opens it, and you notice cupped right there in his palm is a shell, small shell with 2 holes in it, and one more on the side. A shell that looks similar to your own. It's a turtle shell.
Oh,
A broken turtle shell.
oh.
Is
Like
is the
back.
shell blue or green
No, it's
or
Don't Mario
red.
Kart. It's nonsense, bro.
okay,
Brown.
fine,
Yeah.
fine,
Okay.
fine.
But I do want to do one thing where, like, I try to cover the 2 holes and then blow on the one on the side. This was like an old thing that we used to do in Chul, where it basically becomes an ocarina. So,
Oh,
so I try to like make like a couple of notes.
you can
Uh,
Ah,
always
dude,
check.
I can't do Mario Kart. You can do Zelda. Well, fuck you.
Zelda was better. 18.
Hmm.
That 18 minus one. 17.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're playing a melody tune, and as all of you walk forward, and you're just going over this terrain, you see it in front of you, and like Habibi, you're taking charge over here, and this little guppy boy is laughing and skipping around you and jumping and just handing you an assortment of trinkets as you walk, putting them in your pockets. And as you go past a lot of this, you quickly approach what seems to be like a natural formed cave made out of coral right in front of you. At this point, like, there seems to be no one around this cave, but the guppy boy immediately stops and looks slightly frightened, pulls out your robes as if to lead you back to the direction you had come from, just like shaking their head vigorously.
I'm like, we shouldn't enter here. Is it something dangerous?
Are
Uh,
you afraid of it? Well, that
how
is
did
why
you
we
hide
must.
that spear? Sorry, my bad. You had a question, Elder.
Yeah, does it frighten you? That is why we must enter.
I'm,
It's just
uh,
like
Wow.
yeah,
Guppy
no, no,
was
no, no. I
Guppy
look,
was just like, whoa.
I look at Kape, I'm like, no, don't listen to this man. He's a bad man. uh, I look at him and say, I will go from here. You can go back to your family. Okay?
Yeah, they're just like desperately holding you from going back, but they just like at one point just fall down and then they just see you go in. Because everybody else.
No, if it's so against it, I don't want to go in now. Are you sure we need to go in, guys?
I'm always a fan of going in. Do we need
It's
any
just hard to
protection?
prepare.
What
Do we
does
need
this
any
guy
protection
do?
before we go in?
Is it a magical thing that's inside?
No, it just seems to be like this
No, I'm
almost.
asking, is the guppy like doing this or this?
Oh, that way.
What does Daria do?
What does Daria do?
Uh, Daya looks at you and says, no, and you may see honestly, like Daria is like an explorer themselves. So, they look intrigued by this and they look at the guppy child and, they go like, um, they peek to him. And it's like these sounds are almost like bubbles almost, and it's just like a wetish sort of sound. And and the kid seems to be frantically telling Daria something, and then Daria nods and looks over to the rest of you and says that um it seems that something foul hides within the cave. But apart from what this monster might be, the child did not explain, did not really elaborate on what exactly this monster is. The way that we talk about it is larger fish, But he did inform me that there is a body to be discovered inside that is old but could be useful in providing us with items if we require.
I look at the
Or
guppy.
not,
Go for it, go for it.
items or not, if this body needs its proper rights, and if there is a monster that's bothering these people, we must find it.
I look at the guppy and I'm like, do you want us to destroy the monster?
Said you blankly.
You don't want us to destroy that monster? Like this? Okay, destroy, kill it. Okay, I raise my battle axe. Yeah, we'll do that. I give him back the Ocrane, and I tell him,
Okay. And you hear this cherry tune as like he runs back to the little shelter stand. And all of you go in here.
"More, please." Oh, this is creepy. This is like the inside of the thing that we are.
This is the
Oh
inside.
God, that's creepy. Okay,
Gorgeous looking map though.
it is.
Yeah.
And so all of you are here right now. You notice at the far end there seems to be like a pool that has collected. Um, you know, sorry. What is that? Yeah, sorry. So like, you see, there's a pool that's collected over here. There seems to be some items that are scattered around in this area a little bit. But on the far end, these rocks are jutting out, and you see that there seems to be like a body that's placed on top.
On the rocks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna try looking for the monster before releasing.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Hmm.
Nelda, what would you like to do?
I will, uh, yeah, close my eyes, and the moisture is gonna rise for everyone else. And as I open it, I use my divine sense.
Ah, okay. So,
Good, evil, fey, fiend, undead.
I rolled a 15 on my investigation.
15? Okay.
Mhm.
So you're looking around and you're keeping a cautious watch around to see whether there's something lurking about. So when you're going in this direction at the side, you're keeping a steady view at the water itself to see whether there's something there. You do come across what seems to be on the banks a weathered diary and a dagger. Would you like to flip through the pages of the diary?
This is what I found, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dumb barbarian. Take the book, go through it.
Okay. As and as you flip through these pages destroyed by water and soil, you make out the words of a journal of voyage. It has the story of a love left behind and a sense of adventure. The final entry is a desperate scribble narrating a shipwreck, surviving adrift, and swimming ashore a strange island that suddenly capsized in the dark. There's nothing else written anywhere here, but you do notice there's a mention over and over again of an escape from a certain group that you have heard of as well. And you notice at the end of this journal a symbol of a dagger cutting through waves.
What do I know about this?
Like a trident cutting through waves. Give me like a history check.
I'm not gonna be lucky again. Yeah, no. Eight.
Eight? Oh.
Yeah.
You don't really remember much about it, but you do feel like like this name, Blood Waters, is familiar to you.
I just ask nonchalantly to the group. I'm like, do you guys know what the blood waters are?
At that moment, like there's this
Uh,
quick like look from Daria who just stares at you like, what did you say?
Blood waters.
Why would you mention them?
Show them. I show him the book and I'm like, here.
They quickly go through the book and they're like, but how? The man over there, how? And like they seem a little shocked almost, and it's it's like they stand back and they look at the dead body, or then they squint and they go like, is that Triton armor? And they seem a little shocked and they go like that. I told you that a group of people were chasing us, were running after us. They they call themselves the Bloodwaters. They have pledged to steal the treasure of the seas and use it to take control of the ocean. They're still on the case. The reason why I hired you was because I wanted safe passage away from them. Even Captain Cook, I'm not sure if you noticed, but the mark that some of his crew carried,
Were the same. Yeah.
that is this mark of the Bloodwaters. I fear that they might still be behind us. I wonder if this island itself is part of their great scheme. And as who would be standing closest to the water at this point?
Not me.
I'll take it.
You take
Yeah.
Now that you feel like this slow shift of the water behind you, and like these wet, scaly arms reach out and grab your neck. And as it does, the rest of you look at this weird fish like man, grotesque in a way, standing behind Neldor in a choke, holding him in a chokehold. It yells out in a raspy voice, and we
What?
let you go free. Give us the treasure of thieves, and we let you go free. The Bloodwaters demand it, and we will send you a message if we do not deliver. And they take their blade and stick it into your neck, Kush. Ah, it does not get past it. You almost feel like the water from this lake itself reaches out and puts like this sort of shield around your neck. This is such a protected golden boy. But I'll give you all a chance to like try to disarm this person before we do anything. Kush, you yourself can try to like take all your attacks towards it.
Sure, I will then take two attacks, both aimed at the wrist of this person, whichever hand is holding the knife. Uh,
Okay.
so, oh no, horrible, horrible. 9 and 14.
Oh, that's okay. So with 14, 14 hits.
Amazing.
So
Um,
it's like your divine sense is going off the charts. Okay, you feel something incredibly evil behind you. It doesn't feel like any fiend. It feels humanoid in nature, but their alignment itself feels like incredibly evil.
That's 11 points of damage.
Okay?
Slash
On who?
on
On
whoever
this
and
weird,
Alright.
strange fish-like creature that's come at the back. Wait, I will just put the knife in here.
I would like just like unsheath my sword towards the hand itself and like try to slice it up. Even if it doesn't get sliced, I'll like attack the wrist and like
Mhm.
turn around to face them.
Okay. And you easily get out of this hold. It looks at you. After the G, is there anything you want to do to like take this out?
I'm a go basically use the blunt side of my great axe. There's the
Mm-hmm.
sharpened side and there's the blunt side.
Mm-hmm.
Hack at its head as hard as I can. I'm gonna take two attacks.
Awesome.
Uh, 17 plus 6. I'm using great weapon mastery. So that will be, I'm assuming that it's right.
Yes.
That is 12. Wow, okay. 12 plus 3 plus 10.
Plus
Uh,
10,
yeah, because of great weapon mastery.
25.
25. That's the first hit. Does he feel like he's going on? I'm still using the blunt side basically. I'm trying to knock him unconscious. If he's still not down, turn about, hit him again with. If he's not down with that first hit, I'm gonna return again and try to hit him again.
Okay. He's still like, I mean, like, honestly, with that attack, he seems to be pretty knocked out.
Okay.
Like, he did not expect like, to come across front line here. Okay, he was expecting like puny, weird people, and struck by this, you see, as like this, you have like this weird like fish guy just lying in the water, and the water starts to get like ink, like this reddish murk from expelled from their body. They are immovable. This is
The
what
whole point
happens.
is it's to do this one, non-lethal damage, not to kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like yeah, it's not killed him, but he seems to be like pretty bruised up.
Okay. Do I
Got
still take the second attack or do I?
No, no, he's like
Okay.
out. He's out.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to do? Would you like to investigate? You do try to rouse him, but they do not wake up at all.
I'm
Okay.
tying him up.
You tie them up. Cool. And leave them there. At this point, outside do see that the light is starting to dim considerably. And you notice as the sun starts to like come to a close over the horizon, you notice as before you can like investigate this strange creature, find out anything more, Guppy starts to run inside this cave and get better.
What's this guy? Okay.
But, but they rush at you and they hold out this concoction in a bowl. It seems to be like this strange sort of mixture. And they hold it to you and quickly like indicate, like, eat this.
I trust this guppy with my life. I eat this.
Okay. Nelda and Quay, do you both
Where's
eat?
God? Where's dead?
G-word.
Yes,
G-word.
I'm so sorry. I'm here.
No, no,
I'm so
G-word.
tired.
It's
Ah.
okay, Gio. We're wrapping it up soon. So like the guppy boy comes and offers you something weird to eat. Do you want to eat it?
I'm going to assume this is like some goop he found in
You're
the random
asking
place.
me. Wait, who are you asking that to?
Both of us.
You like, will you eat the weird goo that the guppy boy is offering
Oh, okay. Wait, I thought we were fighting. I was gonna hit the guppy boy. Anyways,
you?
will I eat the weird goo? I mean, he's been giving us good stuff so far, so yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like one horn and Broken shell, yes.
I'm just gonna
So,
take it and say thank you, and I'm not gonna eat it.
you're not gonna eat it?
No.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. So as you eat this, like the guppy boy is still circling around you in Eldor, and they rush up to offer it to Daria, but like Daria just like smiles and nods their head as if to say no, and they desperately turn to you, Neldor, and try to get you to eat it, but when you don't, they just kind of like their shoulders slump and they go outside. And as as the sun starts to settle, you feel this rapid shift in movement. You feel like the whole island itself seems to be sinking in a sort of way. And as the as the darkness starts to set over all of you, the land beneath you starts to rumble. Slowly, you feel the island coming alive as the last spray of water from the geyser settles over you like a fine mist. The land seems to split itself as it starts to rise and crack before a resounding bellow of a gargantuan creature stuns your senses. For a second, the discord seems to settle before you feel the land plunged from beneath your feet and rapidly descend underwater. Caught in the vortex of movement, you're pulled into a giant whirlpool and the island submerges itself. Every
Okay.
heightened scent is immediately dulled as you're pulled into this endless ocean. Time seems to have slowed down as you watch the island move, finally revealing its true form of a gigantic whale. In the absence of time, you slowly feel the pressure of the water, the distortion to your vision, and the building craving for air. Now, for those of you that drank the islander's strange concoction, you feel your body start to turn, your legs bind together and become a single limb, a fishtail. When you reach to touch your throat, you feel gills at the side of your neck. Now, for you, Nelda, for those who refuse the islander's kindness, you feel pressure building in your lungs. A desperation for air sinks in. And as you start to lose your consciousness, you see a bright orange guppy swim at you, followed by a stunning Triton woman approaching you.
Titan.
Triton.
Triton. Okay.
She comes closer to you, Eldar, and slowly takes out what seems to be like a trident and touches you with it. It takes you a second, but slowly you see your body starts to change shape as well. As your legs fuse together and you become more furry. As you look around you, you see as the warm water seems to, the cold water around you seems to warm as you adjust to your new form. In this world of shifting colors and weightlessness, you feel untethered and free. Bubbles escape your mouth when you speak, and you're keenly aware of the working gills on your neck. You test out your long tail, and the extended limb responds well. The underwater world, much larger than an oyster, is now yours to explore. That's why we're ending this one short playtest.
Oh my god.
Sorry, it went much longer than I thought it would.
It's okay. We can post it in parts. Stop doing that.
Also, quickly to wrap this up, finish this up. This is an adventure from the Maze magazine that Shema wrote. You can find it on RPG. The link is in the description, and you can use code TPK10 to get an extra 10% off.
That is not happening. We'll explain this in every video, people. If you know this is a joke by now, thank you for watching our show.
And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you guys on someday, I guess.
New campaign, new
10th of
campaign, new
January.
campaign, new campaign.
10th of January, new campaign starting. Now that I've said it on stream, I have to commit. So,
10th
yeah,
of
10th of
January.
January.
Yo!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck!
What happened?
Nothing. I didn't. Okay, cool. I'm excited.
He got immediately like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yay!
no.
Happy New Year. Good night.
New
Bye.
Year is already gone by the time this post. It's my birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
birthday, Kush.
Happy birthday,
Kush,
Kush!
Kush, just so you know, we love you and check under your seat right now. Check, check.
It's
Is there
my
anything?
slipper.
Yeah. That's what you're getting. Juta.
Wow.
On that note,
Amazing.
everyone, bye bye.